was just about to say that. I was like, is that Amnesia?
Like, yeah, that's the menu themed Amnesia. I didn't even realize that that's what was playing.
I can hear myself. I wonder why I can hear myself.
Yes, indeed you can. Hello, everybody.
Oh,
Hi.
The Creepypasta Wiki. Sorry.
Oh my God, it is the Creepypasta Wiki. I haven't told Fan, but today's story that I wanted to read him, which he can now see because he's watching the stream, is a non-seas goat man story. Have you heard of this?
Ooh, I believe so. Yes, I have.
So I was in. Well, there's a couple things I need to explain. So first off, I was in Dante's stream yesterday, and my boom arm broke. So I'm literally holding my microphone in my left hand while streaming, and I can't play a game like that. So I decided I was going to read. And because I decided I was going to read, I dragged Fan along with me. Say hi, Fan.
Hi, Fan.
There we go. So, and then while I was thinking, okay, well, my microphone's broken, I need a story to read, I was asking Dante's chat, and let's just say people in Dante's chat are not well versed in creepypastas. So I was like, hey, that doesn't you can use duct tape to fix your issue. No, I can't. The way that it broke was on the end of the mic arm that holds my microphone.
Oh,
I think my phone's I think my phone, something's going up with my tracking phone. It completely broke the plastic pieces in there. So the end of the boom arm just completely broke off. So I thought about gluing it, but it's attached to metal and you can't really glue plastic to metal. So yeah, gotta buy a new one. I already did. It's coming in tomorrow on top of the other expensive thing I bought that Fan knows about. A large cup to hold your mic. That'd be hilarious. As I was saying, another thing that I bought that Fan now knows about is I bought a program so that my voice appears nice and crisp and I can up the gain without worrying about background noise so that I can dramatically read my creepypastas. Cass, I'm scared. Good. You should be. It's Spooky Sunday. You should be very scared. Ooh. Did you buy deodorant? I don't need to. I still got most to stick. But yeah, what was I gonna say? So yeah, we're reading. I actually ended up figuring out what I wanted to read because I follow a creepypasta themed podcast that I really like. That's totally not stolen inspiration for this idea, called Creepcast. Do you know Creepcast? If my hand moves, by the way, it's because that's the hand I'm holding my microphone in.
Wasn't Creepcast a podcast that read that one story that we read together?
But yeah, Pen Pal. Which if you're a good boy and we get through this in a reasonable amount of time, I do have the Pen Pal book loaded up too, because we're on chapter 3 of that one.
So chat, this is the time I get the test if all cats have 9 lives.
How do you know I haven't used up a lot of them?
guess we gonna find out which one you're at. They have a pasta of the month? That's pretty cool.
Do they? Wait, pasta of the month?
Yeah, current pasta of the month is Dead Man Tell No Tales. That's a classic one. Shit. That's a short one, though. No, it's not.
Is it? I don't think I know Dead Man Tell No Tales.
It's a classic one.
This is also a classic one. So, a non-seas goat man story was originally posted to 4chan's X board, which if you're too young to remember what the 4chan X board is, it's basically where a bunch of people got together, talked about spooky stories in a really, really weird font. Or in a really, really weird, not font, but in a typeface, because you can kind of see how it's written out here. SCP started out on the X board, I believe.
I think so, yeah. The early SCPs.
Yeah, I think it started out as like a 4chan X board post about 173. Oh God, not 4chan. It's okay. It's gone now. All right. We can remember the good and not the other stuff.
The other stuff.
I'm also, does it cut off? Okay, it does, because I have this webpage specifically cut off because one of the wow, my phone is not wanting to work with me today. Hello? Good sir, are you by chance fucking up? One of the top pages for this week is normal porn for normal people. A story I don't think I can read on Twitch or
Where do you
YouTube.
see that?
On the
What?
left, top pages for the week: Ben Drown and normal porn for normal people. On the explore tab on the
with
left.
the monkey next to it? Yeah. I
Yes,
see
with
it
the
now.
monkey next to it. There's a reason for that. 4chan never disappears. It just hides in the shadows.
It just it mutates into something else. Something far worse.
What's that other one that everybody hates that's made for making fun of lolcows? My buddy was on it for the longest time. He still probably is on it. I'm trying to remember. Give me a second. I have a friend of mine who's constantly on this one website that's just not good. When was the last time I talked to Frank?
In what way?
Oh, it's literally a website that was started out to make fun of Chris Chan, and now all they do is make fun of people and call them the R slur.
Oh my God.
It's like all the website is. Literally the entire website is like, check out this R doing this. Check out this R. Look at this R. Like stuff like that.
That's actually insane.
I will admit, he sent me one the other day that I thought was really funny. But that's besides the point. Kiwi Farms. That's what it is. I figured it out. It's called Kiwi Farms. Don't go there. Don't go there. That's all I gotta say. No. Okay.
I found it.
Oh, it's not hard to
find.
My eyes.
It's blinding.
Oh my God! It looks like early 2000s slop. I say, being on the creepypasta wiki.
Hey, creepypastas wasn't slop, okay?
Some of them were. I want you to know, when I asked Dante's chat, hey, what creepypasta I should read, the immediate answer was Sonic.exe. And I was like, I think I don't wanna. Maybe we will, because it is kind of funny. But no, instead I was listening, because I listen to Creepcast to fall asleep. I'm one of those. My white side takes over. I'm one of those people. I'm like a white woman who listens to true crime to fall asleep. and they did Anansi's Goatman story a while ago, and I was like, I forgot about that one. So then I skipped over it and didn't listen to that one. But I do remember which one this one's about.
I'm gonna leave this website.
Oh no. So as you can see, it starts out, this part right here is very 4chan green text with like the be me kind of stuff. So if you've ever seen 4chan, that's how it is. The quick little thing we get from this, if you're ready to get started, fam.
I'm ready.
Okay. This is gonna be funny for me to read, because what the fuck?
You haven't shared your screen.
Oh yeah, duh. You right.
I could just look up the story.
Nah, I got you.
That's a lot of work.
Hopefully this shouldn't break my stream. So
you're fine.
You know it's a good story when I have to read out, here's my story. Be 16, be black, and have a family down in Alabama. I'm not black, but
you don't live in Alabama.
And I definitely don't have family down in Alabama. I'm too Mexican for that. Yes, they farm and own a huge amount of land down in Huntsville. Uncle owns a big house and a bunch of trailers they put out in the woods for hunting and or camping. Okay, I do have white family members that do that. Do you have family members that hunt at all? They just put random shit in the woods.
No.
Oh, my dad lives up north, and it is like, it's just filled with a bunch of random shit that they use for hunting, or they just his neighbor just throws shit out in the woods. Yeah, like cars and shit. It's cool.
That's valid.
All right. Down south, cousins suggest that we go out there to camp. No, I'm a city kid from Chicago, so they tease the fuck out of me. I mean, I also, I've been to Chicago. I would be worse. Hi, Danny! I live in the woods. I love the woods. Danny, I'm black now. Not really. But as I'm reading the story, I had to read "Be Black and Have a Family Down in Alabama."
Oh my god! I was eating my banana when you said that.
The things you should expect when coming into my broken mic streams are my hands randomly popping up and me saying random shit. Welcome to the club. Hey! All right. Collect food, kill a pig and some chickens, and bring necessities to camp out for a few days. We get to camp, and it's obvious something is weird. Air has this weird electric smell right before a storm, like ozone. We think nothing of it and unpack and go down to a little creek to swim for a few hours. All of a sudden, some older white guy and a white teenager come out of the bushes. Now,
Well,
you kids don't belong down here. Have you... That is that how they came out of the woods to grab his dick and twist. All right. He has a shotgun. Fair enough. He has a shotgun in the crook of his arm and says hello and asks us what we're doing this far back in the woods. Tell him about my uncle, who he knows, and say we're camping out. He tells us we need to be real careful out here and stick together because there was a big animal in the woods. His son, who is my age, asks if he can stay and hang out with us. He says it's okay. Now, imagine you just randomly came up to people in the woods. And it's like, who are you? I'm that guy's nephew.
Holding a shotgun on top of that.
That's not the weird part. The weird part is like, who are you? Oh, I'm his nephew. Cool, take my son. My son
sounds about right.
My son needs more friends. Here. I hope you're not gonna kill him.
Don't sacrifice for that's my job.
Hey Cass. Uh-oh. I see that you have 10k channel points. Oh no. That actually happens? What? People, why? How much water do you have? I don't have any water actually.
Drown. I drink 1 gallon bottle. Dear Lord.
Oh no, it's not even drinking. I mostly just pour it on myself. Thank you for the recalibration. I am all set.
You're gonna pour all that water on you?
That's what I usually do.
I have to clean it up after.
Get the Brita filter. My Brita filter is like a spout. I have to like unleash the spout. I can do that.
Unleash the spout. Grandma, take it, twist it.
Well, before I get drowned, I should probably... I'm going to stop green texting because the story is fairly long and the format is harder to write in. Item at... There it is. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I should do it from afar. It'll sound funny.
What, drowning yourself? Please do. I live in a part of the country that randomly hear shotgun shit. Wow. English! I've been saving my channel points for this. You know what? 100% fair.
Well, I'm
You're
sufficiently...
drinking oranges? You mean you're drinking orange juice?
I am sufficiently covered in water and my nipples are cold.
Not the nips.
Not the nips.
So you just soaked?
Yep.
You know, that's 100% valid. Yes, I've drowned the cat.
I am drowning the cat.
What's next?
Nah, it's got enough. It's got enough insulations.
Worth it.
Anyways, So we end up playing football, dicking around. Wait, dick. So we end up playing football.
Don't take the football.
Yeah, dick the football. No. So we end up playing football, dicking around with me. There's the white kid, Tanner, 5 of my cousins, and then 4 of their friends. In total, there were 5 girls and 6 boys. We were all around 15 to 17, and we ended up just dicking the day away. That can mean several different things.
So
That's a fuck. Not like, I mean, it is Alabama. Like, not
right.
like dicking the day away with your cousins. Am I right? That is just an unfortunate way of wording that.
Oh my god.
They had gay sex.
What about the girls?
They watched.
Same brain.
They sat in the oh god, they sat in the cook trailer. No, the cook trailer.
Trailer. Oh my god! Now we gotta read this whole thing in a country accent.
I mean, I was already doing. I was trying to do it in like not as thick a Southern accent, but we can. All right.
All right.
Eventually, we head back to camp and pull out some stuff for a campfire. Even through the trailers, both even though the trailers both had kitchenettes. Fuck, I can't read. Tanner says that his family sits up against my uncle's. He wants to run home and asks his dad if he can come out camping with us. My cousin Rooster says he's going to go with him since it's going to get dark soon. One of the girls also wants to tag along. Star!
Of course, there's a couple
Oh my
Rooster.
god, it's Star! I haven't seen you in a while! Hello! They just watched and was like, well, this wasn't what I had in mind.
Oh man.
Oh
This is a
man.
bit of a predicament here. Why can't I join in?
You cannot eat. There's no cotton candy in my walls. I live in an apartment. If you think there's insulation in this thing, you'd be dead wrong.
Oh, true.
All right.
Apartments don't give 2 fucks.
All right. Where was I? Oh,
It's about 7 o'clock.
About 7 o'clock, and it's starting to get pretty dark. They grab flashlights and take the trail towards Tan's property. The rest of us chill. We make s'mores, drink, and kiss on the girls. Again, ain't that your cousins?
No, wait.
Hold on. 5 of my cousins. Oh, no. Not all of them are.
Okay.
5 of them are his cousins, and then there's 4 of their friends. 5 girls and 6 boys. So not everyone's related here, but it's the statistics. Yeah, the statistics still don't make me feel very comfortable. I cry because I probably missed all your In-Sound Mind streams. They're all saved. You can always go back and watch them. I have them saved in a playlist that you can check out because I love that game. It was so good. Incest. I'm eating Cass's file, specifically the one labeled food. I don't have a file in my computer labeled food because I don't post them on the internet very much. All right.
Why not?
Because I don't make very good looking food because I don't work in fine dining anymore.
Too bad.
Cakes in the toilets are delicious. Are you eating my shit? You eating my shit?
What?
Hey, I forgot to turn on my Mix It Up. Thanks, Galaxy, for the lurk. I'm just gonna quickly log into my Mix It Up. You shit, Blue. Listen, my diet.
You shit, Blue.
All right.
You be shitting that blue color.
What the fuck? That blue color. All right. About 30 or 40 minutes later, there's that smell of ozone again. You can notice it over the scent of the fire. Or I guess fire.
Fireball.
Fireball. We had started this really nasty... Yeah, we had started this really... Oh, wait, I'm a fucking idiot. Over the scent of the fire, we started this really nasty coppery smell. Like right after you've had a nosebleed and it
Sweet
stopped.
Home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Sweet Home Alabama.
Fuck.
Lord, I'm coming home to you.
Sweet home Alabama.
Hearing SpongeBob
Where
say
the
that is
skies
just
so
wild.
blue.
It wasn't exactly like dried blood, but it was that metallic back of your throat smell. We immediately think that it's some kind of electrical malfunction or that someone left a hot plate on or some shit. We search the trailers and nothing's on, but we can all smell it. Yeah, if you've ever worked in food service, we have like hot wells, and if there's no fuck you. If there's no water in the hot wells, it does smell like blood. It do be smelling a lot like blood. Hello, cat. I am here. Hello, Sonny. Oh. I got chicken nuggets.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to read one of these passages?
Yes. Where you at? I lost where I was. Where you were. I was fiddling with something.
Right here.
All of a sudden, we could hear people booking it down the path towards us. Rooster, Tan, and the girl came running to the clearing, out of breath. They don't even break stride. They all run into the trailer right by where the fire is. We all get the fuck out of there into the trailers. They end up calming down. Even Rooster is crying his fucking eyes out at this time. All the while, the fire is guttering lower and lower. So my other cousins say, fuck it. We're about to go outside and get the generator out of the shed between the trailers. Tanner goes, fuck no. Lock the front door. I was going to say the fuck door.
Lock the fuck door. We can't let the girls in. Lock the fuck door on the gay sex trailer. Yeah, or fuck the door.
Fuck the door.
We didn't put that. No. We didn't put those sponges in it for nothing.
Ain't nobody else going outside. He's been crying too. His eyes are bloodshot and puffy as his pants are dirty as shit.
Did he shit himself?
Shit himself.
Did he shit himself?
No, he says dirty ass shit. Meaning like he got like covered in mud.
Or shit. He could have shit himself.
I mean, he could have.
He's clearly
Alabama.
What does that have to do? He clearly scared out of his mind, so he might have been scared out of his shit too.
He don't scared the shit out of him, but
he doggone got the shit scared out of him. Ah! Oh wait, never mind. Your ears are blocking it. Oh, thank God.
The panic. That's your instinct of just a reaction.
Well, I'm so glad you were placed where you were and that it cut off perfectly. Did you just shit yourself? I might have. Catboy, thank you for the follow. All right, my computer's just reminding me that I need to charge my phone, but for some fucking reason, it decided to do it with my real name. Almost dox myself.
Oh my God! So I literally say
you're literally your ear is blocking out the first couple letters of my name.
Oh my God, that's actually kind of crazy.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Anyways, Catboy Uncle, thank you for the follow.
Thank you. All right.
All right. So, okay, he's shit himself. All right. He goes on to tell us that they went up to his house. His father said, sure, he could go out camping, but to make sure they were careful on the way back, and that maybe they should take one of the hunting rifles just in case. Evidently, Tanner had seen something in their yard a few days before. One of their pigs had been ripped up and half eaten. They assumed it was just some big cats or coyotes, even though they don't usually fuck with the live animals. That is true. That's like big cats or coyotes. Neither of those can rip a pig up and like half eat it. And if they did, they would not be getting that close to like anything, especially a coyote.
That's why they go for smaller prey.
Yeah. Tanner went upstairs, packed his stuff, and told his dad they'd be okay without the rifle because coyotes avoid people. Then they started walking back towards where we were camping. Rooster finally stops crying and shaking. The girl already had. Yeah, fucking Rooster, little crybaby bitch. What did I come back to? We've been reading this in a southern accent because it takes place in Alabama.
And Cass almost doxed himself.
And I almost doxed myself. All right. The girl already had, but was now just staring out the window with a dumb look on her face. What's that dumb bitch looking at? She's just like looking at. She's like staring at the window, and they're like, "You got a dumb look on your face, girl." Damn, you look stupid. Oh, my cats are fighting. Hey. They do that. He says they had gotten halfway into the woods towards camp when they'd started to hear shit in the forest. It was almost pitch black by this time, so they weren't sure at first what the fuck it was. The girl says that she heard something in the bushes off the trail. They all beamed their flashlights over there, and there was someone standing in the woods, in a little hollow. Rooster said they shouted at him and told him that he was scaring the fuck out of them. And what a dick he was. He says that's when he realized that the guy was facing away from him. Imagine he's like taking a piss in the woods. Like, he's like, oh,
hey, buddy, you're scaring the shit out of us.
You fucking freak. You fucking dickhead. You're scaring the shit out of us. He's like, I'm just trying to piss.
Nature was calling. I'm sorry.
Nature was calling. Yeah, well, it's calling you to get the fuck out of here, dick. It's like, They kept walking, and they start smelling the nasty coppery ozone smell. They say that they look off into the forest on the opposite side. And there's a dude standing there too. Back. Oh no, they're pisser. Slightly closer to the path. So now they start power walking. And Tan keeps going. I should have taken that fucking rifle. As they're telling the story, the smell is still super strong, even inside the cabin. Oh man, there's two of them pissed. Maybe it's a good thing Tanner didn't bring the gun. He would have just shot them.
Yeah, but they found out that they ain't it's not people.
What if it was though? Like a dude taking a piss. He's just trying to relieve himself in the woods, and then some fucking some 15-year-old kid just comes up behind him and shoots his dick off.
Well, it's better that than his life.
I don't think it was. No, I don't think it is at that point. Would you rather be alive or dickless?
No, you're right. I'd rather be dead.
All right. They say after they started walking faster, a kind of low gibbering had began coming from both sides of the wood. As they booked it back to the trailer, the girl said she flashed her light out to the side of them and saw something jerking itself through the woods. Oh, they're not pissing, they're masturbating. Got it. They're running back to the woods and it's turned to the side. There's just some dude whacking.
Like, oh yeah, you like that nature?
No, running right next to them, keeping pace with them, just jerking his shit. My God, it's the supernatural jerker.
Oh no.
The country accent is hurting my soul. Well, I'm sorry, I'm from the north. All right. Sorry. Where? There it is. Yeah, literally it says jerking itself through the woods. That didn't age well in 10 years.
You're shaking more than 3 times masturbation.
I did. What is that quote? What?
I think I know what that quote's from. I just don't remember.
All right. Anyways, so we're out in the fucking woods, and we're assuming at this point it's some rednecks or some shit trying to fuck with us. All of a sudden, my other cousin Junior starts going on about how he went to school with a native kid that was telling him about the goat man or some shit. We promptly tell him to shut the fuck up because we don't need any spooky talk right now. Hey, I heard about this thing called the goat man? Man, shut the fuck up. We're trying to
We
figure
don't
out.
hear about them goats.
I don't want to hear about the goat man jerking his shit in the woods. All right. Anyways, back to what we were doing. Back to the gay sex trailer. Back to the matter at hand. The gay sex trailer.
The gay sex.
But then he just keeps going on about how it's the fucking goat man and we're in his woods and blah blah blah. Now at the time, I'd never heard of this goat man or any of that. But then a couple years ago, the year before I graduated from college, I had Manam for a roommate. I ended up asking him about it. Is Manam south? I thought Manam. Well, I'm thinking because there's a town nearby. My college roommate grew up called Menominee, and I thought that was the same kind of. I don't know.
The fuck is a Manam?
It's a Native American tribe.
Ah. Dope.
End up asking him about it, and to sum it up, it's basically a fucking man with the head of a goat. He can shape shift and get among groups of people to terrorize them. It's also supposed to be kind of like the Wendigo. Dude, you want to know what's fucked up? The minute I said that was just fucking crescendos of violin in my ear. That was horrible timing. That scared the fuck out of me. As soon as I said it, just I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" I think it's from.
Name.
Yeah, I think it was from because I turned it off for YouTube, but I forgot to turn off the royalty free background sounds. As soon as I said it, literally. It's like, oh, what the fuck? It's bad mojo to even talk about it, and even worse if you see it. You don't say. All right. Cass, your tism is showing. How is that my tism? What does that have to do with autism? Anyways, keep in mind I didn't know this back when I was 16. So my cousin is going, the goat man's going to get in and fucking get us. The girls are terrified, and my cousins and I are all fucking trying to figure out if it's just some hillbillies or an animal. I love that this story started out like
hillbillies.
I love that this story started out like, you know, talking fairly normal, and then the more it goes on, the more they swear. Like it's starting to sound like I wrote this thing. How many times I've had to read fucking the fucking goat man, trying to fucking figure it out. Fucking, yeah, cousins are fucking, and the gay sex trailer. They're like, it sounds like Alabama.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right, I'm trying to figure out just some hillbillies or an animal. All of a sudden, the smell just goes away. To this day, I haven't even experienced anything like it. Obviously, smells usually fade away or lessen, but it literally was just there 1 second and not the next. So it's after an hour, making it around 9 or 10, we stopped shitting bricks enough to go back outside and stoke the fire again. We figured it was just some assholes trying to fuck with us. So we don't go back home because we think if we do, they'll chase us through the woods or some crazy shit. No one else heard you talking about. It's completely fucking random. Okay, so it was the background of the... It's because you guys can't hear it. It was the background of the YouTube streams, like, background music that I had. Or Tennessee. Hey, it's a little true. I've been to Tennessee. All right. Where was I? The chase. Okay, so nothing else weird happened that night. We stay another night, and for the main part of that night, nothing happens. But about 1 a.m, we're outside getting drunk and telling ghost stories as someone is finishing some too spooky story. I don't remember what about. The smell comes back. It's so fucking strong that one of the girls literally starts vomiting. Jesus. It's not that coppery smell. Isn't that bad of a smell? I don't know why you'd vomit from it.
Depends how What kind of like? What kind of scent you would smell?
Like blood.
Sometimes it'll be like putrid.
Well, no, because they're
Like
describing it as
old.
like that coppery, like blood smell.
Oh, but I have no idea why
Oh
they would
god!
be throwing up.
Oh god! The people shaking in the woods, the ones who were jerking it, they're back.
It ain't copper they smelling.
You can actually feel how clammy the air is. I say we should get inside, and that this isn't right. We should have just fucking left. We all go back inside. We're standing around. My cousin keeps going on about how it's the goat man. My other cousin Rooster tries to shut him the fuck up. All the while, I'm just feeling that something is wrong, and I can't figure out what the fuck it is. We end up sitting there for a while. The smell is just as strong, and we're terrified and all huddled in this camper. We end up cooking brats for everybody because nobody wants to go outside. It's one of those packs with 4 brats, and we have a total of 3 packs. I grill them up on the stove, give everybody a hot dog, then get mine. So, Johnsonville, that's what I'm thinking. Like, you ever had a Johnsonville brat?
Mm-hmm.
Those are good. So wait, hold on. 4 brats, 3 packs. So that's 16. But there's only 15 of them.
And some of them are hungry.
Fair. You ever think of solving their issues with a gun? Apparently not.
Some of them are super young. They're like 15 to 17 years old. Some of them don't even know how to use a gun.
Hey, they're from Alabama. They probably know how to use a gun. I learned to use a gun when I was younger than that. 4 times 3 is 12. Was I doing? Oh, because I was thinking 4 and 4. Hold on. And then how many of them are there? Yeah, scroll.
There's
so 5 girls, 6 boys. Okay, so there's 11 of them. And they have 12 brats.
Well, there's 1 extra.
Yeah, there's 1 extra. Okay, I thought there wasn't enough. All right, here we go. I figured out where we were at. After a while, one of my cousins gets up and goes over to the pot and gets another one. He starts grumbling about how I got 2 brats and everyone else got 1. And I just look at him like he's fucking stupid. I tell him that everyone got 1 because there were only 12 brats, and that if he wanted more, he should just open up a new pack and cook some more. That's when the girl that had been out with Rooster and Tam just starts screaming, "Oh, Jesus! Oh, Lord, get out!" She's crying and shivering, and then it dawns on the cousin standing up, what the fuck is wrong? Me and him both glance around the room, and I feel my heart fucking sink. I run the fuck out of the cabin, and the girl runs out with us. The trailer door is banging against the sides of the trailer, and everybody books it out. One of my cousin's friends asked what the fuck was wrong. I started counting us. There's only 11 now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, wait. Okay, hold on.
Someone's missing.
Yeah, I know. I did 4 times 4, which is 16. But it was 4 times 3. The math didn't add up because I can't fucking math. What?
If there's always been 11 of them, weren't they?
Yeah, but all
Why does he say
the
there's only 11 now? 11 now.
Because 4 times 3, they had 12 brats. Every person got 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that in the trailer, there was somehow 12 of them.
Oh.
When there should have only been 11.
And the goat man can shape shit.
And the goat man is known to fuck with people in crowds.
Oh.
I'm lagging really bad, guest. It ain't me. We're still going strong over here.
Damn right.
Damn straight. Yes, let's leave the safety of the trailer with... yeah, just leave the trailer with a maybe goat man in there.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Anyways, I shit you not, my cousin verified that there had been 12 people in the cabin. But being that everybody didn't really know each other well, nobody had noticed the whole fucking time that there was an extra person. And then I realized earlier that I had kind of noticed something was off. You know how when you're just dicking around, stop saying dicking around, having a good time. Well, you don't sweat the small shit. You don't always keep track of certain stuff. I'm dead sure that someone else had been in that trailer with us and that they had been there for at least a fucking day eating with us. What makes it worse is that I couldn't figure out who it was because I don't think anyone ever actually interacted with the other person or goat man. So, from what they're saying, he thinks that there had been 12 people all day, but nobody noticed the 12th person because apparently, despite half of you being fucking related to each other, imagine somebody had sex with a goat man without realizing it.
It's like, damn, it's a bit furry down here.
I thought he seemed a bit hairy.
Oh, God.
The girls kept praying to Jesus. We're all sitting outside. Eventually, we get big-ass sticks and go back in the cabin. There's nobody in there. We count again. There's 11 people. Yes, the sticks will do something against... I mean, I guess if it's a person-sized thing, bum rushing it with 11 people with sticks, that actually might not be the worst idea in the world.
That's true.
Yes, big-ass sticks will save you. It might. Sticks. Yes, big-ass sticks. Good for fire. Or good for bashing Goatman brains in. We go back into the trailer and lock the door. We explain what the fuck happened. The girl says she realized too, and that when she was about to say something, the person sitting next to her grabbed her leg hard, leaned over towards her, and said something she couldn't understand. You got smooth thighs, girl. And you got hairy ones. Fuck. That too. Those sticks need to be size of trees. That'd be trunks. The definition for that would actually be trunks.
They're definitely not strong enough for that.
Imagine one guy just grabs like a little twig. I'm ready to go. And it's just like a little like magic wand twig. Gabe, what are you going to do with that? I'm going to summon a deer. You're a fucking idiot. All right. There we go. So we're pretty much scared as fuck as we huddled together. And I fall asleep. Well, you must not have been fucking scared enough. I was so fucking scared. I fell asleep calmly, had a nice dream, and when I woke up,
everybody was dead.
Well, I woke up. All my cousins were dead.
All the cousins. Tweedledum. I
cast tungsten balls upon thee with my tiny stick. Oh, itty-kitty-me. Thank you, Dante, for the lyric. Dante, you might want to stick around. Where was I?
It's about to get good.
It's about to get good. Anyways, I wake up. The sun is just coming up, and half the people are asleep, and the other half are packing their shit up. We all want to walk back home, but like 4 people want to stay until the sun is all the way up. And some people think that we're just fucking around and still want to stay at the trailers. I just want to get the fuck out of the woods. I want to get the fuck out of here. The girl's name was Kira, the one that the goat man had touched. That sounds...
What you mean by that?
What you mean by that?
What you mean by that?
Point on the doll where the goat man touched you.
Oh God, no!
I just need you to right here, right on.
Is anyone on the doll? Just tell us where she pissed.
Point to where the ancient horror touched you.
The ancient horror touched you.
Anyway, I asked her if she really thinks it was something bad, and she says she just wants to go home and that she doesn't want to be out in the woods alone for another night. So we decided to split.
To begin with.
So we decided to split up. What the fuck you mean you decide to split up?
What is this fucking Scooby-Doo?
You know what sounds really good right now? Spreading out in a way that they can kill us easier. Please show us on the 16th scale model where the goat thing touched you. From just being here and listening. Oh, hell yeah. Dumb people. Yeah, in any horror movie, when is it a good idea to split up? That's how everybody dies.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, so we decided to split up. The 4 that want to go can go, but I have to stay because I have the keys to the cabin, and it's my uncle's, and I have to lock it up. I'm sure your uncle will understand. It's like, we almost died. And actually, he maybe not, because it's just, the only thing that's happened right now was, Uncle, you don't understand. There were 12 of us instead of 11. Okay,
I forgot to count correctly.
Yeah.
It was the goat man, we swear.
Yeah, I swear it was the goat man. All right, well, now my trailer's robbed. Fucking kid. I'm super pissed at this point, because I feel like people aren't taking this shit seriously. Okay, and I definitely didn't want to be out in the woods for another night. I spent the rest of the day trying to convince the rest of the people, now 4 girls and 4 guys, to get the fuck out of Dodge. Tanner leaves with them to go get a rifle, and says he's going to be back. So there's just 7 of us left by 4 p.m. Why
You
does
gotta remember that number.
7. Also, why does it take you that long to gather up your shit for a camping trip and leave? Especially, isn't he like on his uncle's property?
Yes.
Bruh.
He's on his uncle's property.
Bruh. At around 5 p.m., he hasn't made it back yet, and we're getting extremely fucking antsy. The only reason I stopped begging them to leave was because he went to get a gun. At about 5:30 p.m. or so, the one cousin that did stay says that the girl Kira is outside. We all look outside, and sure enough, she's standing by the fire pit with her back to the cabin. I'm thinking to myself, if she's so fucking scared, why the hell she come back? Then I get this nasty feeling in my gut. Keep in mind, the whole time, that coppery smell has been gone. Now I realize I can smell just a twinge of it. I say this to the rest of them. Everybody, and these are the people that wanted to stay in the fucking woods after we had the goddamn goat man in our midst, is laughing at me, asking if I set this up to scare them. I'm looking at them like, I'm not fucking bullshitting you, all right? I asked them why the fuck I would play like that. I mean, why not? Yeah, that's not Kira. Cast fast. Was that gun a PP gun? All right, I'm going to go grab my gun. Where's the gun? That's what I call my penis. I just
You mean a BB gun?
All right. Oh my God. This next sentence. So one of the girls goes outside to get Kira. You dumb whore.
Damn.
Well, you're going out to get the fucking goat man. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, they don't know that.
Yes, they fucking do. So one of the girls goes outside to get Kira. She gets halfway to her and stops cold. Kira starts heaving. I don't know how the fuck to describe it. Is that what heaving is?
Yeah. Breathing heavy. Yeah.
Someone get the small howitzer, unzips pants. Sort of like if someone with their back turned was laughing without actually making any sound. It was this fact that made me realize that there was not a fucking sound in the whole woods. It was dead silent. This was like late September, so it's still fairly hot at the time, but super chilly some days too. And you could usually hear big ass geese honking or some kind of birds or squirrels chit chatting. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard that, but like if you're ever out in the woods and all sound disappears, you're fucked.
You realize now, Mother Nature has chosen you as a sacrifice.
It is at this moment he knew he fucked up. Oh no, they're gonna die.
Oh shit.
No, literally.
Oh, no.
That's like the superstitious. It's like you don't whistle in the woods, and if all sound, because you can always hear like frogs, crickets, like the wind, some kind of animal or something in the woods. If all of that is just gone and it's like completely silent, it means that something fucked up is happening.
I'd have just laid down and just, you know what? I'm ready. Take me.
Nope, I'm dead.
I'm not ready.
I'm dead. They're gonna get touched inappropriately like the other girl. Show me on the doll. Show me on the doll where the goat man touched. I step out the door and tell the girl to come back in the fucking trailer right goddamn now. She backs up into it, and we lock the fucking door. We pull down all the shades except one and put a guy there in the chair to watch Kira. And Kira is in quotations. She just stands there for another 20 minutes or so. Eventually, the guy turns to say that she's still there, and there's a huge fucking bang on the door. We all jump the fuck up, scramble around the living room of the trailer. The banging is super fucking loud. My cousin is holding one of the girls. The other two are kind of giggling with nervous laughter. Me and the other two guys are shitting bricks. Then we hear Tan. He's screaming, "Let me the fuck in! Stop fucking playing!" We go over to the door and open it, and he stumbles in with a rifle. There's nobody else outside. Evidently, he had walked up to the campsite. Nothing weird happened in the forest, but he'd seen a girl. Mind you, he said it was not Kira standing there. When he had gotten to the edge of the clearing, she had turned towards him with a slack-jaw look and just stared him down, slowly tracking him as he walked around the outside of the clearing towards the camp. He said it wasn't until he was almost halfway to the trailer that he'd realized she was getting closer to him. Oh, fuck that. She had started off by the fire, and without him even seeing her move, she began turning, inching closer. He said he just ran the rest of the way back to the cabin, thinking it would open. When he got to the door and it was locked, he turned. There's about half the distance to the door. Fuck that. Fuck that. He looks around the room and then gets super pale. He pulls me to the side and whispers in my ear, "You know, there's only 7 of us in here, right? Wouldn't it be 8?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I get that feeling when your stomach drops to your nuts. Having back inside the trailer.
No, actually, it should be lower
Why?
because Kira wasn't supposed to come back.
Hold on. Where was I? Certain. Okay, hold on. I was like right here.
Wouldn't that be 6? There are just 7 of us left.
No. Now 4
Kira wasn't
girls
supposed
and
to stay.
4 guys.
Yeah, Kira was supposed to leave,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah,
since it's
so-
not Kira, it's not 7.
To get the fuck out.
It was
Tanner
7
leaves
before
with them.
Kira came back.
So now he says there's 7 of us left by 4 p.m.
No, that means when Tanner left, he didn't count Tanner too, because Tanner left.
No, he's saying no. Okay, so what he's saying is at this point, there's 4 girls and 4 guys, right? Tanner left. That made 7. Tanner came back, and that should be 8. But Tanner just pointed out, you know there's only 7 of us in here, right?
Oh shit, you're right.
Hmm.
So then they're missing somebody.
It had been back inside the trailer while we were sorting out who was going where. And then we all went outside to talk earlier in the day. It had just slipped right back in. That's what he's saying. Is that, yes, by the time, like, they had counted and that there was 8 people there with them, but Kira wasn't one of them, but now she's out there because that's the Goat Man. The Goat Man had slipped back in while they were discussing, like everybody leaving, and had talked about there were 8 people in that, like 8 people had stayed, and the Goat Man was one of them. And then now that they've realized it and they've locked it out there, there are 7 people in the trailer because they counted the Goat Man thinking it was one of them. He had slipped back into
Gotcha.
He had slipped back into them without anybody noticing.
Damn, you a sneaky bitch.
Right? We look out the window and there's nobody there. So we recount. And then I go over asking everybody how many people were here earlier. And everybody says 8. I say, well, how many are here now? Yeah. They all do the count and realize there's only 7 people in the cabin. And Ned brought back a couple of boxes of ammo in his rifle. He told his dad that there was some kind of animal in the forest because he didn't think he would believe him if he said it was the Goat Man. He says that his cousin is supposed to be coming down in a few hours, and that in the morning we can all go back to his place and his cousin will drive us home. Now I'm really fucking terrified. Oh, now. What's this book called? So this is actually a creepypasta. It's called Anasi's Goat Man story. It's a classic creepypasta from 2012. Started on the X board of 4chan. So you know it's good. Have you ever seen that animation? My blade. Have you ever seen that one?
I think so.
My blade has been greased in gnome semen, so you know it's good.
Yes. Yes, the fucking
barbarian.
The dark elf.
Yeah.
The dark elf. Yeah.
My blade was enchanted by elves with autism, so you know it's good.
Yeah. That's fucking hilarious.
And then he slices him and it just fucking breaks.
Yeah. It was funny.
Now I'm really fucking terrified. After that story, that's just a funny sentence to read. Now I'm real fucking terrified. But I at least feel better because we can be American and shoot the fuck out of whatever it is that comes. Amen, brother. Amen to that.
I had to win the most American shit to say. Oh my god. Love that. Love that was one of the quotes. Now we can be American.
Now we can be American and shoot the fuck out of whatever it is that comes back. Finally, they chose to use the gun. But then my cousin gets into this huge argument with one of the girls because she thinks that I'm trying to be funny and prank them. She's getting really scared and thinks I'm not funny. He keeps telling her I'm not that kind of person. And she says, well, how do we know the girl wasn't just Tanner in a wig? How do we know that scary demon woman wasn't you in a wig? Meanwhile, Tanner's like a hench fucking like bodybuilder. Ah, yes. It is I, the little girl in the woods. I'm reading this off a website. I'm reading this off of the creepypasta wiki. So creepypasta.fandom.com. It's the wiki. It literally houses so many awesome internet horror stories. Yeah. Like normal porn for normal people. An actual creepypasta. It's fucking insane. I mean, it wasn't just Tanner in a wig, or if it's really the Goat Man. How do we know this is the real Tanner and the Goat Man didn't just kill the Tanner in the woods and take his gun? Okay, but to be fair, do you think the creature would walk in and be like, "Here's a gun to defeat me with"? Take this gun.
Trying to play along, maybe. I don't think it's capable of speech. That's the thing. Because it never spoke to the
actually,
other one.
yeah, there is a thing later on in here that I actually can't wait till we get to, because it talks about how this creature speaks. And the thing that they use to describe it, I did not realize until rereading this today, that it is fucking hilarious. And I don't know how they got away with it in a scary story. All right. So we get in this huge fucking argument about this, where me and Tan are like, we could be in serious danger because at the very least, someone has been sneaking themselves in our fucking trailer without us knowing and mingling with us. And at worst, something bad is in the forest fucking with us. One of the girls is crying, shut the fuck up, bitch, and saying she wants to go right now. And we're telling her we shouldn't because none of us are walking through the woods in the middle of the night. Yes, the art of deception. All right. Whoa, Gaddis Fox, hello. Or it's like, all right. At this point, the sun is starting to go down and it's getting a little cloudy out. We eat something and turn on the radio for a while, but we can't really get a station out there with anything decent. So we turn it off. What was the point of that fucking sentence? What was the point of that sentence? We got the radio out, but the radio didn't work. So we just turned it off and ignored it for the entire rest of the story. Cool.
Background noise.
Yeah. About that time, Tan's cousin shows up. He's like 19, I think. Now, the sun is just barely over the horizon. He has one of them heavy-duty lantern flashlights and another rifle. He walks up to the trailer, and we whisper to Tan, asking if he's sure it's his cousin. He says yes. That's hilarious. You have children? I don't. He does. Tan does.
I do.
I don't. They needed filler. It is a sentence. So
A filler sentence.
You were saying?
That was amazing.
You were saying? The first smart decision, not walking alone in the middle of the night. What's up, buddy? What's up? My microphone stand broke, so we're reading horror stories instead. And this one takes place in the South, so we're giving him really bad Southern accents. All right. The guy looks behind him and all around the camp, then walks in. He kind of glances at all of us and looks a little confused. And he says, "Where's your other little buddy at? I figured she would meet up at the cabin. Is she a little slow or something?" That's
Oh damn.
damn, that's really offensive.
They a little slow or something?
Is she a little
Crazy
little as we were talking, a little Kiwi Farms as we were talking about? Y'all, Hulu is weird. I just got an email from them titled "Notice Me, Senpai." What the fuck, Hulu?
What?
I wish I had a Hulu subscription right about now. That's kind of funny.
That's
I feel like
crazy.
I feel like the more that I read this story, the more a Southern accent is slipping out without me even realizing it.
So proud of you.
You're also from the North. What do you mean?
I'm from the East.
I come from the East. I wish I owned my Hulu account. I don't even own a Hulu account. I need to steal it from my mom because I want to watch. You ever watch Justified? I love that show.
I have not watched Justified.
Oh, it's so good. It's about a police officer. I think if I remember correctly, he's from like Southern Tennessee. So he's real old school Southern cowboy, but he was working in Miami. The TV show starts with he was tracking down a drug kingpin based out of Miami, but he was fleeing to Cuba, and he was going to flee to Cuba before they got a warrant out for his arrest. So the main guy who's played by Timothy Oliphant, he goes and he tracks him down before he's about to leave. So he's sitting there at a hotel basically with him, and the guy was like, "I know you've been trying to get me, but there's nothing you can do right now because the warrant hasn't gone through. So legally, I'm still a free man up until I get on that boat and leave, and that warrant goes through." And the character just goes, "Fuck your warrant," and just guns him down in the middle.
Oh my God.
He literally, like, the gun's like, "Hey man, I can sit here and confess to you and everything, but you don't have a warrant out for my arrest, and until you get that, there's nothing you can do to me." And he goes, "Fuck you," and just shoots him, like straight up kills him. And so the FBI gets involved, and they're trying to figure out whether him killing that guy was justified, which is where the title comes from. So while they're doing that, he's put on leave and sent to go work the the random police station job back at his hometown. So he goes back to his hometown after years of not being there, and now he's a cop trying to deal with all the crazy illegal shit that's going on in his hometown. Walton Goggins is in it too, the guy who plays the ghoul in Fallout. It's so good. What up, Floof? Hello. I highly recommend Justified. It got a new season recently too, which was insane because it's a few years old at this point, but it holds up. It's so good. And it's so funny because I remember I discovered the actor Timothy Oliphant from, he did a show with Drew Barrymore. I can't remember what it's called. But the premise of it was his wife gets turned into like a zombie. And it's like a sitcom. Like she gets turned into a zombie, but like she still has pretty much all her functions and stuff. And they're just trying to like survive out. Oh, the Santa Clarita Diet. So like he's like a wimpy, like scrawny character in that show, and like he's scared of everything. And then in Justified, he's like this badass cowboy police officer who just guns people down. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not what I expected from that guy. But apparently he does a lot of serious roles, because I didn't realize he was Agent 47 in a Hitman movie in like the early 2000s.
I have not seen that one, but I know of it. He's Agent 47?
Yeah, he's Agent 47 in that movie.
That's one hell of a character to play.
Pow pow. Someone in chat just pow pow. I like it. So I'm about to cancel mine because they're about to combine with Disney Plus and shut down the Hulu app. Oh, then I'll be fine. I have the Disney Plus app because I love Doctor Who, and I'm a huge nerd. You ever watch Doctor Who?
I started it. I never got to finish it.
It's still going. So you're on the buzzed hair guy, like the first guy with the leather jacket and the buzzed hair, the ninth Doctor, technically.
Yes.
Cass, you're sidetracked. I know I'm sidetracked. I'm talking about Doctor Who. Let my autism kick in. It's a good show. Anyways, where were we? He asked if his friend was a little slow, which is fucked up. He also asked whether we'd been cooking blood in the cabin, because it smelled like blood and hot pans all the way up the trail. We were all like, nope. And we asked him what the fuck he was talking about. Y'all been cooking blood up here. It's better than y'all been cooking meth in here.
Just cooking blood? Like, what the hell y'all doing?
I love, we were all like fucking nope in all caps. All right.
Nope.
Nope. He had come down the same trail Tan had been using and found one of you's guys' buddies standing in the middle of the trail looking at him slack-jawed. He had asked her a bunch of questions, but all she did was just look at him. Then she smiled, and he said he kept walking. He's like, all right, I'll see you later then. She couldn't seem to keep up with him and kept lagging a little behind. He said he asked her if she was hurting or something and if she needed any help, but she had continued to stare. Eventually, he'd turn around at the bend of the trail, But when he looked back to see if she was okay, the trail was empty. He'd assumed she had taken some shortcut through the woods to our trailer. We tell him the whole story of what's been going on. I half expected him to say we're full of shit, but he just listened and sat down on the couches in the living room. He's like, it all makes sense now. So she's not stupid. Gotcha.
She's just not herself.
My God. I get like that too sometimes. No, she's still stupid.
No, she's still stupid. Crazy. No, but you are. That's crazy.
Yeah, she does. She likes to insult me. Tanner's cousin gets back to the girl. He says that when she had kept trying to lag behind him, it kind of weirded him the fuck out. So he tried to keep her in front of him, but no matter how slow he walked, she was always lagging a little behind him. He smelled this nasty smell. It had gotten stronger as he got to the camp. Eventually, it got real strong. She had said something really low that he didn't catch. When he had turned around, she had been right the fuck up on him. Well, what do you think about that?
That's crazy.
I feel like we're almost, I can see it. I've been reading for a while. You want to take over for a little bit at this point?
Sure. Where are we at?
Literally like right at the top. I moved it up so that it's just at the top for you.
Okay. All right. Let me fix my microphone. Get my accent.
Get my southern accent from the east.
That this shit's, get my... So at this point, we know that this shit is
suddenly India. So at this point, we knew that the shit is real, my friend. The shit real.
He black. I'm not doing that accent. I ain't trying to get in trouble.
No. Let's not.
Let's not.
VGen's
so
canceled.
At this point, we know that this shit's real. This shit's real. Unless Tanner's playing a joke, which we can tell he's not. He's almost pissing his pants. They load up their rifles, weed some more, and we just kind of sit around until about 11. To this fucking day, every time I think about this, I really pray to God that some huge prank that my cousin played on me just never revealed so that I would sit myself for the rest of my life.
Continuously?
Wow, that's dysentery right there. You've been dead by half of your life.
How you doing, Ben? Still shitting?
Still on it.
You've been shitting for 13 years. Yep.
How are you alive?
Yep.
Constantly reloading.
All right.
Oh.
I know that's supposed to say like hold on. I know that that's supposed to say like at around 11 because he tried to tap and it's like at round 11. Like they're playing Call of Duty Zombies.
Damn it, Bobby. I told you not to go to the middle of the woods without an escape plan.
At round 11. The stink.
Well, fuck you. I'm not trying to flip you off. My hand, I'm holding my microphone so it thinks I'm flipping you off because of the way that my hand is on my fucking tracking software. Because like if I hold it in my right hand, it sometimes gets picked up, and it's just me like.
He's 100% flipping you all off.
Nah, I would never do that. I'm a sweet Southern boy from Minnesota.
Nope, you're flipping us off.
I'm a sweet Southern boy from Minnesota.
Just imagine he's holding an awesome staff.
If I were grabbing my dick, I would be. Sorry, I had to. I had to.
That's crazy. So you're from Lower Canada?
Pretty much. You know what? Hey, Southern Canada, I guess at this point.
Definitely would not be a Southern accent. You'd be like, fucking Canada.
Oh, yeah, but...
talk. Yeah,
So
that.
around
Oh, yeah,
11,
bud.
oh yeah, bud. So around 11, the stink of copper turned into an actual gross blood-like smell, like cooked blood sausage and singed hair. I, as a Norwegian descent from the north, I understand that perfectly there, bud. I know exactly what that smells like. We eat fucking congealed blood and fermented fish on a daily occasion because fucking white people don't have taste buds in the north. I tell you what.
I'll take you it.
Dude, yeah, Norwegian, yes. So the predominantly a lot of the people in Minnesota come from Norwegian, Scandinavian, Swedish, like just that general descent. So doesn't mean shit unless you talk to them about Lutefisk. You ever heard of Lutefisk?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to sell Lutefisk when I worked in the seafood department, and it was fucking horrendous. So for those who don't know what lutefisk is fermented white fish soaked in lye, which is a type of poison, by the way. The traditional way of making it was you would soak fish in lye and then bury it in the ground for it to ferment. Lutefisk. That's how you pronounce it, lutefisk.
Pluto, what?
It is fucking disgusting. And for some reason,
It is.
they love it up here. People in Minnesota fucking love lutefisk, and it's nasty. And every time you talk to them, like, oh, but you know, it's so like Swedish Norwegian. It just reminds me of my heritage. And I'm like, your heritage is fucked up. That's fucked up. That shit's gross. Japan has its own version that was featured in Food Wars. Do they?
Ooh.
Like, I love seafood, and that sounds nasty. Dude, it is. I remember, because when I worked at the seafood department, they were like, you gotta try everything that you sell. And so they gave me like a little like fucking 4-ounce sampler cup of lutefisk, and like I put that shit in my mouth and then immediately threw up. It was so nasty. It's like somewhere between nail polish remover and like sulfuric acid. It's disgusting.
Jeez. Gross.
Shit really stinks. It does. Same with my Vietnamese family's weird dishes. Yeah, I've been around Vietnamese families, and they do have some interesting smelling foods. But you know what? Tastes better than fucking lutefisk. Hold on. I'm gonna look up so I can show chat here real quick. Lutefisk.
Oh my god, The Witcher.
Oh my god. Yes, I know. I love The Witcher. So like you see stuff like that doesn't look too bad, right? And then you get fucking images like this. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, we just love it up here in the Midwest. Oh, we love our lutefisk. You can cover that shit in bacon. I'm still not fucking eating it. Yeah, dried whitefish. Here it is. Dried whitefish, usually cod, but sometimes ling or burbot, cured in lye. To give it texture. Looks like old gelatin. So the texture is like that too. Lutefisk is traditionally served with boiled potatoes, mashed green peas, melted butter, and small pieces of fried bacon. Still don't want to eat it. I had it once, and that was just bro. But the root fish, I don't know, the cum-colored stuff at the bottom of a Span can. What kind of spam are you eating? Why is your spam covered in cum? Lutefisk scented candles. I would rather die. I think, if somebody gave me a lutefisk scented candle, I'm just blowing my brains out in front of them. Thanks. Boom. Just no, thank you.
Chat, get him the candle.
Wow. You want me to die? Look up diesel again. I would rather
emphasize that. Die. Are you serious? They make gasoline and diesel scented candles.
I'd love it.
I know people like the scent.
I love the smell of gasoline.
Okay.
I would so buy it. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. Look at. No, fuck. Ew. Fuck off, Johnny. Open image in new tab. Look at that, chat. Oh boy, doesn't that just look appetizing?
Oh god, that actually made my body curl. Gross.
It looks like cum that's been fermented. It looks like aged cum. This is what happens when you leave cum to sit out for like 30 years.
Damn, 30 years?
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't.
How would I know? How would I know?
Fair enough. Anyways.
How do you know? How do you know?
Anyways, so... anyways, sorry to take you on that. Here you go. There's the half knocking. That one's all you, bud.
Okay. There's a half knocking, half clawed at the door, and I shit you not. There's this voice. It sounds like when you see those YouTube cats and dogs whose owners teach them how to talk, air quotes. It says in this halting, weirdly toned voice, let me hold on. Let me see if I can do the voice.
Do you want the example that they give?
Yes.
This is the actual example that the creepypasta gives.
Oh my god, they have an example?
So I know it's supposed to be scary, but now all I can imagine is, let me the fuck in. Stop fucking playing. It's like, you know what? I think I'm going to shoot the goat man. I think I'm going to shoot the goat man. It doesn't sound as scary as I thought it would.
Fucking they open the door. It's this fucking 10-foot tall, beefy ass beast. I've made a mistake.
I'm not going to shoot the goat man. I regret my decisions. My bad, sir. You show me on the doll where you touched it. Where you touched that person. I just laughed my ass up.
Fucking nuts.
Dude, there is I wish I could find this video. There's a horror video that I like that I feel like would do it better. It was an old Nuke's Top. I know it was in a Nuke's Top 5 video, but it was this family and they were talking about how like they could hear something out in the woods, but they couldn't see it, but it was talking to them. And they would be like, hello, is somebody out there? And in the background, like you'd hear, yeah, I'm here. And it's like, it doesn't sound that intimidating, but like when you can't see it and it's like saying stuff like, I'm going to kill you. And like just creepy shit like that. I would much prefer you sound like
Butthead from Beavis and Butthead.
I kind of do. But imagine that instead of the fucking cat, you just like it's scratching at the door and you just hear, let me the fuck in. Stop fucking playing.
I swear I'm gonna subscribe as soon as I'm not broke,
Good. If you're gonna make fun of me, at least pay me money.
The cheese ad, no.
The cheese tax. The cheese tax.
All right. It made my fucking nuts creep up against my body. Oh, yeah, they crept up real nice.
I can hear your nuts tingling up your body.
I can hear your nuts tingling.
I know you're in there. I can hear your nuts. They're tingling. I would love if they came back from the ad and they just heard, I can feel your nuts, or I can hear your nuts tingling.
I can feel your nuts.
Welcome back, chat. I can feel your nuts.
No contents. We're just gonna. That's all you get.
Cast Iron Cat. No context.
I know you're in there. I can hear them cheeks
clapping. I know this is the gay sex trailer. You can't fool me.
Why wasn't I invited?
Yeah, that's it. The goat man is just
sausage for you.
The goat man is just pissed that they cucked him. Hey, and out of this whole time,
Didn't even let me watch.
what the fuck? You had to put me in the cuck trailer with the girls. This is bullshit.
They didn't even play my nails. My nails all crusty and dusty.
Anyway, so your nuts creeping up against your body.
As one of the girls started crying and calling for Jesus. Jesus!
Oh Lord Jesus, help me.
Jesus, please! It was so fucking obvious. It was fucking obvious on a person talking. It didn't have the right cadence.
Yeah,
that's some shit. That's some shit that I never realized until that moment. But all people have certain cadence when they talk, no matter the language. All people have a certain kind of rhythm when they talking. This shit didn't have any kind of cadence or rhythm. One of those YouTube cats. That's what the fuck it sounded like outside the door. YouTube link below.
Ma, there's a weird fucking cat outside. Looks like grandma, the fucking thing. I love it, by the way. It sounded like this almost, just not funny. I swear to God, guys, it's actually a creepy story. It wasn't funny, all right? It wasn't funny. I swear it was terrifying. I just couldn't find a better example. I swear to fuck.
You ever just crack your back and it gets stuck in pain?
Oh,
that's
no.
what I'm like. Oh, I'm stuck.
No,
I'm stuck.
You old man.
I'm stuck. My back hurts. I'm stuck. I can't move.
Uh-oh. Somebody call the nursing home.
Fuck you! Ah, my back. Ah. That hurts so good. Anyways, it sounded like this. This sounded like this. Just not fun. Oh, you did it.
That's the actual. That's what it actually said. No, he actually sounds like this. Almost not funny. I swear.
Oh my god! Sorry for being on a tangent, but if you can't imagine how this shit sounded, then you can't imagine how fucked up the whole situation was. So I'm now now I'm full on terror mode. We keep yelling outside. Who is it? Stop fucking around, man. It just keeps saying in. Let me the fuck in. For almost 15 minutes. The smell goes away for a while, and for the next hour or so, you can hear someone basically creeping around the woods and shit. Every couple minutes, it comes back to the door, says something.
Bro, they got two Stop digging in your butt, twin.
Stop digging in your butt, twin.
By the way, these guys have 2 rifles.
Yo!
At least Fan isn't asleep this time.
First of all, I'm getting there.
What the fuck?
It's starting to creep up.
Bruh.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
Feel it in your old ass bones, like your spine.
Fuck you, okay?
I call Fan an old man, even though he's only a year older than I am.
Exactly. All right, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, read.
Yeah, fucking read. Hold on.
All right. Where was I at?
1 sec. Top down.
Finally, the smell fades away at around 2 a.m. Reese says, "Man, fuck this." Opens the door and walks outside with his rifle.
Good.
He fires a shot into the air. Why? And says something to the effect of, "In the name of Jesus Christ, go away." He fires 2 more times and then from the woods, right up against the river across the trailer. Sounds like something slowly gibbering and hooting.
It's just another bunch of it's just another bunch of rednecks at like the next campsite over. They just hear like a bunch of gunshots in the name of Jesus Christ, and they're like, "Amen, brother." They just start hearing more gunshots. It just sets off a domino effect of rednecks and guns.
Then they start screaming. Sounds almost like a woman and a cat in a bag screaming together.
And the bag's being beaten up against the wall.
It's being shot up by some redneck. Like, I seriously never heard any shit like that. You can hear the brush over that way start to shake. Reese fires over into the tree line and then starts backing up to the building like a little pussy ass bitch. We lock the door and we can hear the shit kneeing and screaming. Reese says something had come out. Keening? Keening.
What the fuck? What does that even mean?
Search it up.
The action of wailing in grief for a dead person. Oh, that's actually sounds fucking terrifying to hear out.
So that's terrifying, yeah. Or he says something had come out of the bushes.
You know what I imagine this thing sounds like now?
What?
Like a fucking like a cat version of La Llorona.
Oh, as scary as that would be, that sounds pretty fucking funny.
That's what I mean, because of the fucking YouTube video that they use as an example. I just hear like that one cat video where he's like, no, like I'm just hearing that. No. Also, Taco.
Taco. I see you, Taco.
I see you, Taco. I can smell you.
You smell like Taco Bell.
I like it.
Like that gordita crunch.
Dude, have you tried their new street chalupas? They're really fucking good.
I haven't had Taco Bell in 2 years.
Let's keep it that way, but I haven't had Taco Bell in 2 days. That shit was good.
2 days versus 2 years.
Listen, I'm fat. We know that. We're well aware of me, my fat ass.
You're gonna scare the taco away.
Trust me, Taco works with dead people and has been almost lit on fire more times than I can count. I'm pretty sure we're not scaring him.
Yeah. We might be turning him on.
Anytime Taco is asked about like a terrifying moment in his life, he mentions a different time that he was almost caught on fire. I keep hearing more times about Taco being almost lit on fire than I would ever think a normal human to be. Taco laughs in the face of death. I love Taco so much. 3 times in total.
That's crazy.
Well, my favorite was him driving a flaming lawnmower and not realizing for a minute that it was on fire. That's the one he told me about.
Badass.
He was doing like landscaping and he smelled smoke and just turned around and his fucking lawnmower was on fire.
2 lawnmowers, one in welding class. That's crazy.
Actually, I can imagine. I was like, I've been in welding class. I haven't almost lit myself on fire.
Almost.
All right. Where were we? Oh yeah, the
shooting in the bushes.
Yeah, we locked the door. We can still hear this shit keening and screaming.
Or he says something had come out of the bushes super low to the ground and was crawling toward the cabin. Yeah, shot at it. He didn't shoot it because he got a terrible shot. Pretty much shows how the rest of the night went.
Shit.
Literally a constant screaming for the next 2 hours and shit moving out into the tree line. But it never came back to the cabin until everyone had finally fell asleep. Because it's a creep. Tan had been sitting in the chair watching the door with his rifle like some weird-ass redneck. Nobody else heard or saw this, but he told me 2 days later after the whole thing was over. He said he had been nodding off after screaming and noises finally stopped and had been almost asleep when he saw someone come out of the bathroom and they lay down in the middle of the floor and go to sleep. He just assumed it was one of us. How?
Because he's fucking stupid, apparently. I haven't seen anybody get up, but maybe they've just been hiding in the bathroom this whole time.
9 people!
9 people?
That means there was more than one? Because there was 7 before.
Wait, no. That would, because his cousin, there were, no, wait, you'd be right.
Oh, yeah. His cousin, his cousin.
But that would make 8.
That'd be 8. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
no.
and then 9.
Yeah, 9.
Okay, yeah. So it's still one goat man.
How the fuck did he get in?
I wonder if later on it's just gonna be like the window was open.
He didn't want. He didn't want to try
Actually-
to shoot at the fucking thing and had it kill us all then and there. So he knew it was there. But if he shot at it, it would fuck everyone up.
I also love Taco. To the window! To the wall!
To the wall! To the wall! To the swedging down my mouse!
The fuck?
Ow, you bitches!
They're getting cut out. All right.
Oh, damn.
I am. You didn't want to shoot at the fucking thing because if and have it kill us all, and then all then and there, or have Reese wake up and start shooting and us kill ourselves. So he just stayed awake all night pretending to be asleep. He said sometimes it would stand up and kind of do this weird jittery thing or heave like it was laughing. And then it would lay back down. That's fucking terrifying. I just imagine it doing like the creepy, like the video game creepypasta, like jittery, like glitch out thing. And then like just heaving in a weird, like trying to laugh kind of thing. That's fucking terrifying. I would, oh my God. No, I'd shoot it. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be like, hey, whoever dies, dies. Survival of the fittest. All right. The story closes pretty weak because from my perspective, nothing happened. When we woke up, I noticed that Tan was a little jittery, that he was avoiding looking at all of us. But we ate some breakfast, packed up, started walking to his house. He stayed last in the cabin and said he'd lock up and bring me my uncle's keys. He told us to just start walking and that he'd catch up, which I didn't really want to fucking do. We got a little bit up the path. And when he came running up, we just jogged back to his house. His cousin took us home. There was a window in that bathroom. Tan had gone to lock up and looked in there. We were too stupid to lock a screenless window. And it was fucking...
What?
And it was fucking up when he went in there. I'm guessing it had been doing that all along, waiting for us to fall asleep or slip up and then getting in among us. It walked with us all the goddamn way back to Among Us. It walked with us all the goddamn way back to his house. And then he said it lagged off to the back of the group, looked him dead in the eyes before walking back into the woods. You've been bonked.
That's petrifying.
I knew it. I was like, there's a window in there that they didn't lock or something. Ah! I've been snowballed! Hank, why?
Hank, why?
That is the end of the Anansi Goat Man story. What did you think?
Holy shit, I survived. Surprised I'm awake.
We survived to the end of one story, and now we can make it to Pen Pal if you want.
You know, as much as I would love to, I know my ass is like on the verge. And it's not even okay. It's not because I'm tired. Literally, as you were finishing, my shit started glitching out. My freaking PC started lagging, and like for no reason whatsoever, it started lagging. I'm like, oh, fun. Might have to talk to Roxas and see if he can help me understand why the fuck it's ruining my thing so bad.
Yeah, and I highly recommend you download that thing that I bought when you can, because damn, does this thing work?
$60.
It's worth it. Listen, look at how crisp I sound.
Broke.
Listen to the sound of my voice and how crisp I am, and imagine all the voice acting roles you could get.
But I'm broke.
Do it.
But I have no money.
But what about being broke with a good sounding voice? Yes, you're broke.
You got me there.
But what if you were broke and sexy?
That's what being on the street is for. Okay, that got into a different conversation. Anyways, will not be able to join you in this pen pal because my freaking PC is glitching, and I'm going to just turn it off for the night
Okay.
and call it a day.
Sounds good. You get some rest there, buddy.
I need to have rest.
Get some rest.
I'll sleep when my narcolepsy kicks in.
I wish I had narcolepsy sometimes. With how badly I sleep.
You know, can I have some of your insomnia, please?
Can we trade
I
insomnia?
I can't remember half of some of my like freaking times I fall asleep. I'll be like wide awake, and all of a sudden I wake up in the morning. I'm like, when the fuck did I fall asleep?
Oh man, fighting that fungus was a little hard.
You still remember that? God damn it!
I love go to sleep, you old fart, not meant as an insult.
I wish it was because I was old. God,
Nah,
my
it's a
situation's
medical
not
reason.
making things any better.
I imagine not.
No, man. Only I could like tell my body to not,
Why are the
or at least like, warn me ahead of time.
They're coming for me.
What did you steal?
Nothing.
God damn.
They just don't
bitch.
believe that I'm legal.
You know, that's fucking valid.
What do you mean?
Listen, Trump doesn't think that we exist, okay? So at least he acknowledges your existence. Unlike us, we don't exist. Our island, what island?
1,000 milligrams caffeine should fix the medical issue. Just brain implosion energy, 10,000 grams of pure caffeine, because you can't overthink if your heart stops.
God, I love that fucking video.
Rainey posted something on Twitter, and I responded with that because she made like a 1,000 milligram caffeine energy drink joke, and I was like, brain implosion energy. Should I buy 3 energy drinks and mix them together? Hell yes.
No.
Hell yes. You got to do. Have you seen those muscle guys? Have you seen those muscle guys on TikTok who buy like a Bang energy drink and put their pre-workout into it? That's like 700 milligrams of caffeine in one go. Have you not seen that?
No.
Yeah, it's like these guys, and they're like, they're like, you got to train the heart. It's technically a muscle, and then they'll put pre-workout in like their energy drinks.
Oh my god. How are they alive?
Some of them are dead.
That answers that.
For different reasons, but yeah,
For the steroids.
Sure. Don't ask Cass for advice. You'll end up broke or dead. It's amazing how I'm not either of those things. Well, it's amazing how I'm not dead.
Emphasis on the dead.
The broke part, you guys ever
He's
heard
kind
of
of bouncing up and down on that one.
You guys ever heard of a tier 1 sub? Be real good right about now to get 5 of those gifted motherfuckers my way to support my dumbassery.
Support my crippling addiction to energy drink.
You're dead on the inside, Cass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever downed 4 Rockstar energy drinks in one day? Yes. Dante can tell you this story. I've also talked about it before, but when Dante moved here from the South, I had to go down and pick her up and drive her back up in one night because the moving van that I had was by the hour, not by the miles. So in one night, I drove from Minnesota down to Georgia and back up. And to do that, I drank 3 Monster energy drinks, 3 5-hour energies, and like a couple of kickstarts. And it was, by the time I got home, I lost all feeling in my left leg for 2 weeks. Literally couldn't feel my left leg for 2 weeks.
That's terrible. Why would you do this?
Love does crazy things to a motherfucker.
You know what? Valid. Fucking valid.
What? Yeah, for 2 weeks I could not feel from like I couldn't feel the front of my shin down to like my ankle and then the entirety of my left foot. I could feel the back of my leg a little bit, but it stopped at a certain point. But basically like the entire front of
Man had
my
a
shit.
stroke.
Pretty much the entire front of my left shin and the entirety of my left foot. I was completely numb, no feeling for 2 weeks. I lived though. I lived. You can say that. It's not much living, but
Barely.
bro was smelling colors at that
Barely.
point. That's fine. You only need the driving foot. That's not even the tingles. No, the funny fact that you said you only need the driving foot. That's how I found out, because I didn't feel it. And then while I was driving, I went and stopped at a rest stop and I put my leg on the ground and like no tingles, no nothing. And I was like, and like I literally stood there. I'm like, maybe my foot fell asleep. So like I stood at the rest stop for like 10 minutes and it didn't come back. And I'm like, so my foot's not asleep. I'm like slamming it into the ground and I'm like, I don't feel my left foot. And by the way, at this point, I'm in like fucking Tennessee. So like, I'm like looking there. I'm like, well, like with Dante, I just picked her up and we're in Tennessee, and I realized I can't feel my left foot, and I'm like, well, that's not good. I should probably I should probably get that looked at when I got home, and then I never did.
You should get it checked out.
It's like a 12 to 14 hour drive. 18, no, it was like 16 hours there and back, I think. Or no, like 16 hours there, 16 hours back, I think. I definitely that whole thing was over 24 hours. How did you not die? Fuck if I know. I'm still here.
It wasn't his time yet.
I did fall asleep at the wheel though.
Oh God!
I crashed
with all that energy.
Yeah, because when I stopped drinking all that energy drink, I crashed really hard. So literally, Dante could tell you I was also in Tennessee at the beginning parts of Tennessee. We were driving, and I had my hand up. We're driving, and then like I'm like drowsy as fuck. I'm like, oh fuck, no, I gotta keep looking. I got this, and Dante's like, are you good? And I'm like, no, I'm really fucking tight. I'm really fucking tight. And then just bang, I passed the fuck out at the wheel.
Were you driving?
Dante doesn't drive.
No, were you driving while you passed out?
Yes.
God, that must have been terrifying for Dante. All of a sudden, you get right in front of a semi.
She's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" Also, I skip forward so far ahead on the book. Holy shit! Where is it? I fucked up. There we go. I fixed it. Anyone get the opposite effect energy drinks are supposed to provide? Pop a monster and pass out like the next 15 minutes. You know, after that, suddenly the caffeine didn't affect me as much, believe it or not. Now I just drink it because I'm addicted, but it doesn't really wake me up. What or why? Anyways, fan, have a good night thinking about how many times I've almost died from my own caffeine intake.
Love that for you.
I'm going to at least get one more chapter in Pen Pals.
Okay. We definitely next Spooky Sunday we could continue Pen Pals.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You just be like, what happened?
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye. All right, now that he's gone, I can also put the music back on because Spotify stopped for some reason. Hey, that's totally not terrifying at all. Is this literally called Jeff the Killer? Yeah, this is called Jeff the Killer. Cool. Love that. We're gonna put that on in the background a little bit while we read this scary story. No, it's the tism. ADHD 100%. I feel that. All right. So, for those who don't remember, the last time we the last time we read Pen Pal, the stalker came to his what's it called? Snow cone machine, and this is the next like creepy thing that happened. So this chapter is called Boxes, and you'll find out why here in a second. If I talk low, can you hold on? I need to look at my audio settings real quick to make sure when I talk low, you can still hear my voice. Yep. Okay. It's good. I spent the summer before kindergarten learning how to climb trees. There was an abundance of trees in my neighborhood, but there was one particular pine tree right outside my house that seemed almost designed for me. It had branches that were so low I could grab them easily without a boost, and for the first couple of days I learned how to pull myself up. I would just sit on the lowest branch, dangling my feet. The tree was outside of our back fence and was so easily visible from the living room of our house. Before too long, and without explicitly discussing that this would be the arrangement, my mother and I had developed a routine where I would play on the tree when she would watch her TV shows, since she could easily see me while she did other things. This was unlike our trips to the YMCA pool, where I would insist that she watch every movement of my amazing ability to keep my head underwater. Also, I need to real quick check if this has a certain typeface. Open dyslexic. Yes. Oh, thank God. I need this. Open dyslexic. My coworker showed me this today, that there's a font specifically for dyslexia, and I fucking need this. Oh, thank God. This is already so much easier in my eyes. Sometimes for up to 10 minutes. She never seemed that impressed, though. I think it was because I was breathing the entire time through a snorkel. As the summer passed, my abilities grew. Dangling my feet while sitting on a branch quickly lost its appeal. So I had begun to move up the branches, and before too long, I was climbing fairly high. As I climbed farther up the tree, I discovered that its branches not only got thinner, but also more widely spaced. So eventually I reached a point where I couldn't actually climb any higher. This meant that the game had to change. I began to concentrate on speed, and in the end, I could reach my highest branch in 25 seconds. It's like an extension. I need that font too. It's built into Kindle, apparently, because I'm using the Kindle app for this, because this is a real book. I talked about it before. This is Pen Pal. I love this book so much. I want to try reading that since I'm not dyslexic. It doesn't hurt my eyes. It seems pretty good. In my mind, I was quite a skilled climber, but my expertise was specialized. I only ever climbed that particular tree, and I always took the same path. I had worn off the bark on some of the branches from grinding my shoes and the wriggling of my hands as I moved from one branch to another in a familiar path. I don't have Kindle anymore. Damn. You could probably find like typeface, like an app on Google that can change all the font typefaces. I wonder if I'm going to check real quick. I should probably do this like that. Hold on. In case I accidentally dox myself again. Settings. Is there a font section to customize font. Ooh, I can customize the font in I can customize the font in this. Is there an Open Dyslexic? It's Open Sans. I can probably download the font, but that's besides the point. We're getting off track. Okay, we're back. We're getting off track, and then I get lost. All right. Anyways, I got too confident. In one afternoon, I tried to step from a branch before I had firmly grasped the next one. I fell about 20 feet, and when I hit the earth, all the air was violently pushed out of my lungs. Dazed, I attempted to get up, but as I put more weight on my left arm, it failed me, and I fell back to the ground. When I look at my arm that had betrayed me, I understood that I had simply asked too much of it. My forearm was twisted and bent like a tree's roots, and when I tried to move my fingers, I found they either all moved together or not at all. Damn. Ooh. My mom was running towards me, yelling something. I remember her sounding like she was underwater. I don't recall what she said, but I do remember being surprised by just how white my bone was. Okay, that's totally random, but I start school back on Tuesday. Oof! I dropped out. I don't like school, but I'm also stupid, so don't follow in my footsteps. You're smarter than me. You're not gonna do that. Yeah, I was surprised at just white my bone was. That is, I've never broken any of my bones, but my family has worked in medicine my whole life, and it is quite insane how white bones are when they're exposed. I couldn't climb trees anymore after that. I was going to start kindergarten with a cast and wouldn't even have any friends to sign it. My mother and I had put a great deal of preparation into making my first day of school a success, but we weren't prepared for this. She must have felt terrible, because the day before I started school, she brought home a kitten. He was just a baby and was striped with tan and white. He was a talker. The soundtrack of my excitement was a never-ending series of short but continuous cries. Like you, monkey. That's like how you talk, bud. Do you want to talk to the microphone? Say hi. Say hi, bud. He's sniffing it. Come on, say hi. You're usually so vocal. That's my cat. Monkey is usually very, very vocal. Buffy is too, but she screams. Monkey makes like little noises like that. It's so cute. The cat squirmed a little in my mom's arms and fanned his toes as he extended his legs. She kissed him on the head and bent towards the floor to release him. As soon as she put him down, he crawled into an empty case of soda that was sitting on the floor. I named him Boxes. Boxes was only an outside cat when he escaped. Sometime long before I was born, my mom had a cat that had apparently decimated the furniture. In the interest of having both a cat and a place to sit, my mom had Boxes declawed. Oh, like that. As a result, we did our best to keep him inside. Despite our best efforts, he would still escape every now and then, and we'd find him somewhere in the backyard chasing some kind of bug or lizard. Most of the time, his prey would simply elude him the old-fashioned way. But there were a couple times when I approached Boxes in the backyard and saw that he had pinned some poor, small animal. But without fail, the tiny creature would pull itself forward and slide through Boxes' clawless paws, and we would watch in horrid disbelief as the prize literally slipped through his fingers. Poor Boxes, declawing is so mean. It is. It's so fucked up. I never realized it until I was older, but it's basically like cutting off like cutting off like the tip of your hand where your fingernail is, like at the first joint. It's like that for cats, and it can really affect their balance and the way that they move and how the world feels to them. It's actually kind of fucked up. I would prefer, there are these little cat caps you can get. Those are a lot better than declawing. I really need to get them for my cat because he's tearing up my fucking couch. Hear that, monkey? He's drinking water. He doesn't give a fuck. Boxes could sometimes be as evasive as the lizards he stalked, but we'd always catch him and carry him back inside. These are defenseless too, because they're mostly using their claws to fight. Yeah, that's true. But if they're mostly inside, like in this situation, it's different. But if they're inside, like, hopefully they don't fight too much. He scrambled to look back over my shoulder, meowing the whole way. I told my mom that it was because he was planning his strategy for the next time and warning the lizards that he'd be back. Once we were back inside, we'd give him some tuna fish. Partly due to this ritual, Boxes learned what the sound of the electric can opener might signal, and he would come running around whenever he heard it. Most of the time, my mother wasn't opening cans of tuna, but Boxes would howl until she put the can on the ground for him. He would smell it and then look up at her in disgust as if he was thinking, "What is this? Soup?" And he'd go, "What is this, soup?" The can opener conditioning came in handy because towards the end of our time in the house, Boxes would get out much more often. He would run into the crawl space under the house where neither my mom nor I wanted to follow because it was cramped and probably festering with bugs and rodents. We attempted to get him out by calling his name, but when that failed, it seemed that we might have to just wait for him to come out on his own accord. Ingeniously, my mom thought to hook up the can opener to an extension cord and run it just outside the opening that Boxes had gone through. Each time he would inevitably emerge with his loud meows while causing a miniature sandstorm as he shook the dirt out of his fur. He would look up at us excitedly, or he would look up at us excited by the sound, then horrified at how we could orchestrate such a cruel ruse. A can opener with no tuna made no sense to Boxes. That's so fucking cute. That's so cute. Last time he escaped to under the house was actually our last day in it. The summer between first and second grade had just started, and our house had already been on the market for a couple months. I didn't want to move, and I protested as sincerely as I could. But my mother told me that the schools were better elsewhere. Of course, I didn't care about that, but there was no decision to be had. My mom had already found a new house in another part of the city, so we had begun packing our things slowly so we'd be ready to move when our house finally sold. That's so cute, right? We didn't have much, and I had already packed all my clothes at my mom's request. She could tell that I was really sad about moving, and so she wanted the transition to be smooth for me. I guess she thought that having my clothes in the box would gently reinforce the idea that we were moving, and if it all happened gradually enough, it would be easier for me to accept it once the day finally came. I guess it worked in a way, but even after months of having my clothes all packed up, the room still felt like my room. A little before we were supposed to move, we were carrying some of our things out to the car when Boxes seized the opportunity and ran full tilt into the yard. My mom scrambled to catch him, but the cat evaded her and ran under the house. She cursed that she had already packed the can opener and wasn't sure where it was, and she tried hopelessly to lure him out by calling him while I pretended to go look for the can opener so that I wouldn't have to go under the house in pursuit. Eventually, my mom, probably completely aware of my little scam, moved one of the panels on the side of the house and went into the crawl space. I stood outside the opening, listening to my mother rustling under the house. "Watch for him," she called to me. And so I crouched down in front of the hole, ready to catch Boxes if he ran out. "Come here." My mother roared, and I heard Boxes howl, as he often would when he was caught. My mom came out with Boxes quickly and seemed unnerved, which made me feel even better about not having to go in myself. She took him inside and made some phone calls while I sat on the bottom bunk of my bed and played with a Ninja Turtle action figure. I eagerly waited for Josh's parents to drop him off so we could play. A couple minutes later, my mom came into my room. She was still covered in dirt from having crawled under the house, and when she moved, I could sometimes see the dirt break loose from her skin and rain down on the carpet of my floor. The unhinged look in her eye was still there, and holding the phone tightly in her hand, she told me that she had spoken to the realtor and we were going to move into the other house right away. She said it as if it was excellent news, but I had thought that we had more time in the house. We weren't supposed to move until the end of next week. It was only Tuesday. We weren't even finished packing yet, but my mom said sometimes it was just easier to replace things than pack them and haul them over the city. I didn't even get to grab the rest of my boxed clothes as my mom ushered me out of my room and out the back door. "What about Josh?" I protested. "What about him?" she snapped. I reminded her that he was supposed to come over later that day. She said that we would have to reschedule our play date. When I asked if I could at least call him to say goodbye, she said that I could just call him from our new house. We left the moving van, and I watched my home and my entire life slide out of sight as we rounded the bend and exited the neighborhood. I had left my home behind, but I managed to stay in touch with Josh over the next several years, which was surprising since we no longer went to the same school. Our parents weren't close, but they knew we were, so they would accommodate our desires to see one another by driving us back and forth for sleepovers. Sometimes every weekend. The distance did little to weaken the strength of our friendship. As a matter of fact, in many ways, our bond actually grew stronger Being further apart meant that nurturing that friendship was no longer as easy as taking a 5-minute car ride or waiting a couple extra stops in the school bus. We had to work to stay friends now, and I think that helped us appreciate what we had. Bet she saw the stalker in the crawl space, and that's why the cat kept going down there. Ooh, wouldn't that be freaky? Like, she just goes down there to get the cat, and he's just staring, like, right at her. As you can see, I'm holding my microphone in this hand now. That Christmas, after the summer that I moved away, I got a number of presents, but only one that I really remember. I unwrapped the box and opened to see a walkie-talkie. It wasn't in any kind of packaging, and the cold utilitarian design stood in sharp contrast to the brightly colored tissue paper that lay under it. I gave my mom a quizzical and confused look. Is that what look? Look, as I picked it up. You, me, it's me, hello, Red. Hi, Red. Can you shout yourself out? Red, can I get a shout out for Red in chat, please? Thanks, Red. As I picked it up, it was a little heavy for me, and it seemed pretty sturdy. It's a bitch! As I ran my eyes... No, Red sucks. Fuck you. Shut yourself out. Do your job, moderator. As I ran my eyes over its knobs and buttons, my mom smiled and told me to give it a try while tapping the rectangular protrusion on the side of the walkie. I depressed the button and spoke. Hello? I waited, but there was no response. I looked back up at my mom, who knelt down and looked at the top of the walkie-talkie, then at a piece of paper she had in her hand. She turned the knobs and told me to try again. Hello? I waited again, but it was still silent. I was starting to think that she might have been playing tricks on me, when the sound of a static suddenly burst through the speaker of the walkie. The acoustic fuzz gave way to a voice. Hey, you there? Josh? Yeah, man, this is so cool. I looked up at my mom, and she was looking down at me with a warm smile on her face. Josh was still chattering away on the walkie-talkie, his sentence awkwardly punctuated in the middle by sharp pulses of static. My mom said, Merry Christmas, and bent down to hug me. What time am I off Friday? Let me check. That's not my phone. Let me see. It's probably going to be like 7 o'clock my time, if I'm assuming right. But let me double check what my schedule says. Come on, for fuck's sake. Oh, that's right. I don't have a schedule for Friday yet. My boss hasn't given me one. I'm only up to Thursday, which I know I have Thursday off, but I don't know when I'll be off Friday. I'm going to assume I'll be home around 7:30 my time. Because for those who don't know, me and Red are streaming together, and we're going to be rating your guys' food. So make sure to put those in the Discord or respond to me on Twitter, where you can show us the food that you make. I've purposely been avoiding the food channel for it. Let me say it in Spanish. No. All right. Say it in Korean, motherfucker. Say it in Korean. I dare you. Red doesn't speak Korean. Our parents had pooled their money to get us these walkie-talkies. They were very nice. Too nice for boys in the 2nd grade, and were advertised to work across a range that extended past the distance between our houses. Where was I? Walkie-talkies. Advised to work across the range that extended past the distance between our houses. They also had batteries that could last for days if the walkie-talkie was on but not used. The walkies would only occasionally work well enough that we could talk across the city, but when we stayed over at each other's houses, we'd use them around the house, talking in mock radio speak that we had taken from movies, and they worked great for that. Every now and then when I stayed at Josh's house, We would manage to sneak away and continue our exploration in the woods. Why? But these adventures were never sanctioned. My mom had told Josh's parents she didn't want me going off into the woods. She said that she was worried that I might get hurt, and she wasn't comfortable taking that chance when she was miles away, despite the fact that Josh's mother was a nurse. All right, put time unknown on my schedule. Okay. This restriction was usually fine since we were both a good number of things to, or since there were a good number of things to do at Josh's house, and I liked being there. His parents were both nice, but were very rarely at the house at the same time since they kept different schedules. Josh's mom was a nurse at the same hospital that put my arm in a cast when I fell from the tree, and his dad was a construction worker. He was a big man, but he also seemed genuinely kind. He had caught us playing in the woods once when I was staying the weekend with Josh. When I begged Josh's father not to tell my mom, he talked to me like an adult, even though I was only 8 years old. He explained why he had to tell her and why I shouldn't ask him to lie. Of course, I still didn't want him to tell my mother, but the fact that he was willing to actually talk to me about it made it much easier to accept. My mother had screamed furiously at me, threatened to ban me from going to Josh's house ever again. I couldn't fully understand this severe reaction, but I didn't want to lose Josh as a friend. So when I visited him, we played video games and played in his room. Josh and I continued to be ferried to each other's houses almost every weekend. I never really thought about it, but the fact that our friendship didn't atrophy when I moved away was most certainly thanks to the efforts that our parents made. Thanks to them, we were still friends when we were 10 years old. Damn. Drawn cast, by the way. Nice. One weekend in the 5th grade, I was staying at Josh's, and my mom called me to say goodnight. She was still pretty watchful, even when she couldn't actually watch me, but I'd gotten so used to it that I didn't even notice it, even if Josh did. She sounded upset, so I asked her if I had done something. She told me that boxes was missing. This must have been a Saturday night because I was going home the next day since there was school on Monday. Boxes had been missing since Friday afternoon. I gathered that my mom had not seen him returning home after dropping me off at Josh's the day before. She must have decided to tell me he was missing because if he didn't come home before I did, then I would be devastated. Not only by his absence, but by the fact that she had kept it from me. She told me not to worry. He'll come back. He always does. But boxes didn't come back. 3 weekends later, I stayed at Josh's again. I had spent every day after school walking around the neighborhood calling for boxes and listening, hoping to hear him. I could think of almost nothing but finding my cat and was noticeably downtrodden by his absence. He was my oldest friend. My mom told me there had been many times when pets had disappeared from home for weeks or even months, only to return on their own. She said they always knew where home was and would always try to get back. I was explaining this to Josh when a thought struck me so hard I interrupted my own sentence just to say it. What if Boxes thought it was the wrong home? Josh was confused. What? He lives with you. He knows where his home is. Yeah, but he grew up somewhere else, Josh. He was raised in my old house. Maybe he still thinks of that place as home like I do. Oh, I get it. Well, that'd be great. We'll tell my dad tomorrow and he'll take us over there so we can look. No, he won't. My mom said that we couldn't ever go back to that place because the new owners wouldn't want to be bothered. She said that she told your mom and dad the same thing. Josh persisted. Okay, well, just go exploring tomorrow and make our way to your old house. No, come on, Josh. Remember the last time we got caught playing in the woods? Even if your dad doesn't catch us, if we get spotted, your dad will find out. And then so will my mom. I wouldn't be allowed to spend the night anymore. My old house is just a couple neighborhoods away. We sat there silent in his room for a moment. I said what I think Josh already knew I was going to say. We have to go there ourselves. We have to go there tonight. No, kid. No, you do not. It didn't take that much convincing to get Josh on board, since he was usually the one to come up with ideas like this. But we had never snuck out of his house before. While we waited until everyone else was asleep, we discussed our strategy for getting there, while also debating how we would explain Box's sudden appearance at our parents if we should happen to find him. About an hour after Josh's parents came to tell us to go to bed, we crept out of Josh's room to go find a flashlight. Josh knew this kid's gonna get kidnapped and die. Dude, this book keeps you on edge, making you think that. About an hour after Josh's parents came to tell us to go to bed, we crept out of Josh's room to find a flashlight. Josh knew that his dad had several, but he had no idea where he kept them. The garage seemed like the most obvious place. We moved silently through the house and eased the interior door to the garage open. It gave a faint squeak, and we paused before pulling it open and passing through the doorway. I went to turn the light on, and Josh hissed at me. There's no real way the light in the garage would have woken anyone in the house up, but when you're attempting to be discreet, it's hard to know where to draw the line. Suddenly, all actions had become covert by default. Like when two friends begin whispering, and after a while they find that their voices are still hushed, but they can't remember why. It was appropriate enough to comb through the garage in the darkness, though using a light to find itself seemed like cheating anyway. Josh's dad had hundreds of tools. We both squinted, trying to see through the darkness to determine if one of them might be what we needed. If we needed a wrench instead of a light, we wouldn't have been in business. Hey, Josh broke the silence. What? Hey, man. What? I whispered as loudly as I could. I can't see anything in here. I know, me neither. Do you have a flashlight I could borrow? There's a slight pause before he followed his joke with, get it? At which point, my hands shot to my mouth as I attempted to hold back the laughter. That's adorable. That was building inside me. I had been in many situations before where I wanted to laugh but couldn't. I was a veteran of those battles, but in almost all occasions, I could permit myself a faint chuckle, or at least would have the foreboding stare of my mother to anchor me. Cute but lame. They're like 10. I'll let it they're like 10, okay? It's cute. My throat clicked and my body shook as I struggled to subdue myself. I looked at Josh. He was in even worse shape. Tears rolling down his cheek. He was actually biting his hand to suppress a rising fit. Josh and I stood with our hands to our mouths, allowing only the occasional snort and squeak to escape. The more I saw him trying to hold back his laughter, the more I felt I no longer could. As I sensed the storm reaching its crescendo, I quickly turned myself around so I wouldn't be caught in a feedback loop with Josh and gradually calmed myself down. As I regained composure and could focus on something other than being quiet, I saw a flashlight sitting on a workbench. I walked over to pick it up and followed Josh back to the house. When we were walking back to Josh's room, I could still feel the rumblings of laughter in my chest. The situation had passed, and I had stifled myself, but just as you can suppress a sneeze with enough effort, the irritants are still there. Before I could even think to stop myself, I began giggling in the hallway, and Josh shushed me harshly as he ushered me into his room. I'm sorry, man, I managed to force amongst my laughter. Dude, shut up, Josh snapped. You'll wake up Veronica. Who's Veronica? Who's Veronica? I had been focusing so hard on not laughing in the garage that after the dam had finally breached, I had forgotten for a moment that Josh's room was right across the hall from his older sister's. I was so embarrassed by the thought of her hearing me giggle that the laughter inside me died. Ha! No, Cass. What? I was like, is his dad cheating or something? And it lives in the house? I don't know. Wow, that's kind of a fucked up way to put a person. Nope, just an older sister. My headphones disconnected. What the fuck? I shouldn't have died. Anyways, I was so embarrassed by the thought of her hearing me giggle that the laughter inside me died, and with it went the brief moment of forgetfulness about why we had gone looking for a flashlight to begin with. You ready? I asked Josh. Dumbass. That I am. Yeah. Is this everything? He said as he gestured towards the flashlight while picking up the walkie-talkies. I felt a little foolish. I hadn't thought to bring the walkie-talkies, despite the fact that this was the one time when we might actually get to use them. Yeah, I think so, I responded coolly. Let's go. Escaping Josh's house turned out to be much easier than finding a flashlight in it. The window in his room, the window in his room opened to the backyard, and he had a latched wooden fence that wasn't locked. The fence opened to the side of the house. We crept along quietly as we passed under his parents' bedroom window. We made a sharp turn away from his house and towards a trash can lined street. Once we were in the clear, we slipped off into the night, flashlights and walkie-talkies in hand. Probably about to get kidnapped. There were two ways to get from Josh's house to my old house. We could walk on the street and make all the turns, or go through the woods, which would take about half the time. It would have taken about 2 hours to walk there, taking the street, but I suggested that we go that way anyway. I told him it was because I didn't want to get lost. Josh scoffed at the idea and insisted that between the two of us, we would have no trouble finding our way. I pointed out that it had been years since I walked through these woods. He waved his hands at me dismissively, said that he doubted anyone knew these woods better than us after the lengths we had gone in order to explore them, even at night. But what about when we were kids? You remember how thick the woods get? But we're not kids anymore, he responded. Yes, you are. Before I could rebut, he added that if we were seen walking along the street, someone might recognize him and tell his dad. He threatened to go home if we didn't just take a shortcut. I accepted his preference because I didn't want to go by myself. Nervously, I turned with Josh towards the line of trees across a vacant lot, walked on. Josh didn't know about the last time I'd walked through these woods at night and how hard it had been to find my way out. The woods seemed much less frightening than I remembered. I was older now, and I found that with a friend and a flashlight, 10-year-olds anyways, how 10-year-old anyways say they aren't kids. Yeah, or I think he meant always. Yeah, always. It's not dyslexic font on my stream, my bad. But yes, they always think they're adults. It's like, no, child, you are 10. All right. Seems less ominous and sounds less foreboding. We seem to be making pretty good time, though. Or two. Though I wasn't entirely sure where we were, but Josh appeared confident enough and bolstered my morale. While not infused with the general eeriness that I had expected, there's still something surreal about the woods. This feeling was, I'm sure, at least partially informed by my memories of this place. You fucked that up so hard. I know I did. There's something about the way the trees twisted together in the dim light of the moon as the wind rustled and whistled through them that made it feel like a wholly different place than it was during the day. The fact that a place this untamed was wedged between stretches of houses and neighborhoods made it seem even more bizarre. But in truth, I knew there was nothing strange about any of this. My thoughts were just wandering as I tried to think about anything other than what it was like to be lost in these woods. I needed to break the silence. How much further do you think it is? Probably pretty far. How much further do you think it is? We were on Josh's side of the woods, so I thought he might have had a better sense of the distance. I don't know. A while, I guess. Well, what's a while mean? I don't know, man. On the bright side, how far can you walk into the woods, right? The question reverberated in my ears. What did you say? I uttered flatly as my feet dragged to a halt. Josh turned his head back a little over his shoulders and said with a half grin, How far can you walk into the woods? My face felt hot. That question. I hadn't thought of that question in years. Since the night it replayed over and over again in my head as I walked what could have been the same path we were taking now, and with the questions now again ringing in my ears. The same panic feelings that had prompted me to think of it that night as I wandered endlessly through this place began to return. I've returned for the ads. Welcome back. I wandered endlessly through the place began to return. I couldn't think of why he would say that or where he even heard it. My mind began whirling in a gyre as it clouded with that familiar feeling of being certain that you were dreaming while also knowing that you're not. Josh hadn't stopped walking when I had, but I could hear him just ahead of me, and I could see the meandering of the flashlight beam through the trees. I began walking again and then caught up with my friend. The bush was getting thicker and the trees more tangled as we negotiated our way through it all. I was about to press Josh about what he had said when the strap of my walkie-talkie got caught on a branch. Josh had the flashlight, and as I was struggling to walkie-talkie free, I heard Josh say, "Hey man, want to go for a swim?" I looked over to where he was, shining the flashlight, but I closed my eyes as I did because I now know where we were, though I had hoped that somehow I was wrong. Slowly and fearfully, I opened my eyes and saw that he was shining the light on a pool float. This was where I had woken up in those woods all those years ago. I felt a lump in my throat and the stinging of fresh tears in my eyes as I continued to struggle with the walkie-talkie. I didn't want to be there. It hadn't even occurred to me that we might find this place, and once we did, I just wanted to keep walking and leave it behind for a second time. But as the branch clung determinedly to the strap, I found myself trapped there once again. For those who don't remember, a few years before this, he had woken up from sleepwalking in the woods, and he's at that clearing now with the pool float that he woke up with. Frustrated, I yanked on the walkie-talkie hard enough to break the branch that held it, and I turned and walked towards Josh, who had partially reclined on the pool float in a mock sunbathing pose. I didn't want to tell Josh how I had first found this place. Sorry, I thought I saw something. First found this place, so I knew that I had to temper my desperation to leave it. Slowing my pace, I tried to collect myself, and Josh, either in an attempt to light my way or obscure it, shined the flashlight directly on my face. The whole world went white for a moment, and even after Josh moved the light, its impression remained. I couldn't see anything, not even the hole. I felt the dirt around the edge of the chasm give way, and I reeled back in an attempt to regain my balance, but it wasn't enough. I tumbled into the crater. It was only a few feet deep, but it had a fairly large perimeter. I was puzzled. I remembered this place vividly from that night. The topography of this particular area was etched deeply in my mind, but I didn't remember the hole. I rose to my knees as I tried to wind back my mind's clock. That's when I heard Josh scream. I rose to my feet quickly and scrambled out of the hole. I tried to see what was happening, but Josh had the flashlight, and his beam moved wildly through the darkness as he flailed frantically on the float. He was panicked, and as the light shot sporadically across his face, I could see it was contorting with fear and desperation. "What's wrong, Josh?" I yelled. But he didn't respond with anything more than the same cries that had pulled me out of that hole. He was trying to get up, but each time he would rise up even a little, he would fall immediately back onto the float, and the whole process would begin anew. I wanted to help Josh, but I couldn't move myself any closer. My legs wouldn't cooperate. I hated these woods. Josh threw the flashlight to free his hands, and I stared at it, still unable to break my paralysis. It wasn't until Josh roared coherently that he needed help that I was able to force myself to move. I ran and grabbed the discarded flashlight. I shined it on my friend, not knowing what to expect. The light washed over his body, and I could see that he was writhing violently. The weathered and worn shark-shaped float distending unearthed him at first. I couldn't see anything near him that could be causing his panic. I shifted my gaze from the surrounding back onto Josh, stepped closer. His plight came into view. Spiders. What 10-year-old knows the word topography? Well, this was written by him as an adult, talking about when he was a kid. So he's relaying the story as an adult. There were dozens of them crawling in crisis. Well, my hand's over here now. There were dozens of them crawling in crisis-crossing patterns along his arms and across his torso. There must have been a clutch of them in the float. The closer I got, the more there seemed to be, as my eyes became better able to distinguish their small bodies. Josh's hands repeatedly returned to his face to wipe it clean of any spiders that might make the journey up there. His frightened and rapid movements stood against the stark contrast to my resumed static state. Josh was not really afraid of spiders, at least not by the thought or sight of them, but I was. I stood there and wished that Josh would have been plagued by something else, anything else. But I had to do something for him. He would have done something for me. Setting the flashlight on the ground, I ran to my friend, shut out all thoughts of spiders out of my mind, and I thought about them. I thought about the spiders. I would stop thinking about helping Josh. I grabbed his arm and leveraged back, pulling him up steadily and strongly as I could. Once on his feet, he yanked off his shirt and began savagely beating it against the ground while I tried to brush the remaining spiders from his arms and neck. When the urgency had passed, we'd stood there for a moment, surveying one another and surveying one another and ourselves. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Picking and brushing the odd spider off the other and occasionally slapping our hands against our own bodies in response to some tickling rogue hair or leaf. From a distance, we must have looked like two monkeys with neurological disorders. Okay, that's a description. The danger seemed to have passed and the spasms stopped. I bent down, picked up Josh's shirt, and handed it to him. He snatched it out of my hands and shook it violently in case there were any stowaway arachnids. And after he pulled his head and slid his arms through, he leaned forward, said with the kind of tone you might hear in someone's voice as if they were punctuating a great argument with the final point, "Fuck spiders." We walked on. Damn, kid, watch your fucking mouth. I had my bearings back, and Josh knew that we were in my part of the woods, so he dropped back a little and I took lead. We were getting closer to my house now, so we became more focused on what had brought us into the woods in the first place. Ignore the way that I'm leaning forward. It's like I'm trying to get comfortable and it's hard. Boxes. Boxes was my language. Captain. Language. Boxes was my cat, but Josh had known him for almost as long as I had. So long, in fact, that Josh had his own set of stories about my cat. We were in the first grade. Josh was staying at my house for the night and was sleeping on the bottom bunk. At some point while he slept, Boxes climbed in bed with him and was still there when he woke up the next morning. Just like you, monkey. You do that sometimes. And Buffy, wherever she's at. Josh told me that he opened his eyes. Boxes was laying about a foot away from his face, staring right at him. Josh said, or at least implied for a moment, he felt like they were sharing something special. That's adorable. That they were making some kind of connection. This moment lasted right up until Josh smiled and Boxes smacked him in the face with his clawless paws, quickly and repeatedly. Wham! Wham! Fuck you, kid. Where was it? Just before he dashed out of the room, leaving Josh dazed. Of course, I didn't witness any of this, but I was somewhat privy to the conclusion since Josh's shouts were what woke me up that morning. Typical cat. I know, right? That does sound like something Monkey would do. Oh, excuse me. That night, as we walked through the woods, drawing ever closer to my old house, we took turns telling different parts of the story to one another. We continued on our path, but as we passed the pile of dead Christmas trees, its weathered ornaments still healthy enough to catch the faintest light and cast it away. What Josh had said earlier in our journey still tugged at my thoughts. I confronted him abruptly. Also, Christmas trees in the woods with ornaments? What? Why did you say what you said back there? What, about Boxes biting me on the nose? I swear he did. No, not that. You asked how far we could go into the woods. Why'd you ask that? Huh? I don't know. I thought it'd be funny. Yeah, but where'd you hear that question? Why would you ask me that? I was trying not to let it on that it had upset me. It's that riddle you told me. It's that riddle. You told me that stupid riddle in kindergarten. What? I don't remember that. Come on, are you serious? It was the day we'd let our balloon go. I guess you finished your work or... Yeah, that's right, because it was before your paper got all messed up. You came to me when I was finishing mine. We started talking about how we'd explore the woods at your house and stuff. And then you asked me how far I could go into the woods, but I didn't know what you meant. When I tried to answer, you just kept asking that stupid question over and over. Oh, yeah. Josh started laughing. And then you said I just have to figure it out. You tried to be all mysterious. Then you just blurted the answer out like 10 seconds later. Oh, yeah. No wonder you forgot. Who'd want to remember blowing a joke so bad? He punched me lightly in the arm. I shoved him back playfully. We laughed as we walked through the ditch. So he asked that question to Josh, and then I'm confused. Anyways, we were back at my old neighborhood, and suddenly the task at hand seemed much more daunting. It was probably around 1 o'clock in the morning. Most of the houses were dark inside, and there were no streetlights in this part of my old neighborhood, so our flashlight cut sharply through the darkness, and we saw only what the beam hit. I started to wonder how we were going to find boxes in such blackness. I found myself wishing we had another flashlight. The last time I had rounded the bend that was ahead of us, I had only seen my house fully illuminated, and there was a part of me that expected to find it the same state as Josh and I pressed forward and the roof of my house appeared over the others. All the memories of what transpired that night came flooding back. In the woods, I had been hit with waves of flashes from that winter night when I was 6, and they would break and retreat back into the reservoirs of my mind. But as I retraced my path on the paved road back to my house, for a moment, Josh seemed to fade away, and every step seemed to hurt, as if my feet had once again been cut open by sharp sticks and thorny bushes of the woods undergrowth. Although I was wearing shoes this time, I could almost feel the small asphalt pebbles that had wedged themselves into cuts on the soles of my feet the last time I made this journey. "There's your house," Josh whispered. I snapped out of my daze. I felt a skipping in my heart as we finally turned the corner. About to face the full view of my house, I remember how incandescent it had been last time, how the light had poured out from every window. This time all the lights were off suddenly. My feet didn't hurt. All the lights were off. Suddenly, my feet didn't hurt anymore. From a distance, I could see my old climbing tree. It looked smaller than I remembered, but my memories of scaling the tree had transformed into a redwood in my mind. I could make out the rim of the branches that were lowest to the ground, the ones I used to sit on when I first learned how to climb. That tree was a source of many memories. They were all good ones, even the ones where I had fallen. I had been in that same spot years before I was in any spot at all, oblivious to all that transpired around it or who it had affected. It would probably remain there after I was gone. If it was left alone... after I was gone, if it was left alone, my mind traced the steps of casualty backwards, and I realized that I wouldn't be back here this night if that tree hadn't grown. And I was briefly in awe of how all the events were like that. As we got closer, I could see that the grass in the yard now reached half the height of the chain link fence that encircled it. Excuse me. I could even guess when it had last been mowed. One of the window shutters had partially broken loose. It was awkwardly rocking back and forth in the breeze. Overall, the house just looked dirty, as if a thin film of grime and grease had coated the whole building, despite whatever rain there had been. It had never even occurred to me that a whole house could get filthy. It was sad to see my old home in such a state of disrepair. Why would my mom care if we bothered the new owners if they cared so little about where they lived? And then I realized there were no new owners. The house was abandoned, though it looked simply forsaken. It dawned on me how much work my mother had put into the maintenance of the house. If this is what it looked like when no one bothered, fuck. of the house, if this is what it looked like when no one bothered, it was like seeing an old friend who had become terminally ill, and it broke my heart. I couldn't help but wonder why my mom would lie to me about our house having new occupants. Maybe she just didn't want to see it like this. Despite how sad it made me, I realized this vacancy was actually a good thing. Since there was no one to take care of the house, there was no one to stop us from looking for my cat. It would be so much easier to look around for boxes if we didn't have to worry about being spotted by the new family. This meant that we could probably make it out of there faster, which was our top priority. Josh interrupted my thoughts as we walked through the gate up to the house itself. Your old house sucks, dude, Josh yelled as quietly as he could. Shut up, Josh. Even like this is probably still more fun than your house. Hey, man. Okay. I think boxes are probably under the house. One of us is to go under and look, but the other should stay next to the opening in case he comes running out. For a moment, I kicked myself for not bringing an electric can opener from Josh's house, forgetting that there would have been no electricity to power it here. Are you serious? No way I'm going under there. It's your cat, man. You do it. That should have settled the question as to who went in after boxes, but I wasn't going to forfeit so quickly. Any chance I had of not crawling under the house was worth taking. Look, I'll game you for it, unless you're too scared, I said, holding my fist over my upturned palm. Fine, but we go on shoot, not 3. It's rock, paper, scissors, shoot, not 1, 2, 3. I know how to play the game, Josh. You're the one who always messes it up. It's 2 out of 3. We each balled one hand into a fist and held it over our palms. I began the count, and on each word we thrust our hands downwards in a stabbing motion till they collided with our palms. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! I brought my hand down, maintaining the fist, and held it there. Josh's hands clapped on his final throw. His paper beat my rock. We begin again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! I guess that Josh would count on me throwing rock again, and I almost did. At the last second, I changed my mind and laid my hands together flatly. I looked at Josh. He was pointing 2 fingers at me, as if to signal the number 2. He had guessed what I'd do or had just gotten lucky. Either way, his scissors beat my paper. I lost. It was obvious that Josh wanted to gloat, but he restrained himself. He wasn't happy that anyone had to go under this house. I wiggled loose the panel that my mom always moved when she had to crawl after boxes. I had removed it myself only once, but that had been a long time ago. I pushed it in hard and then twisted it a little before pulling it out and resting it against the side of my house. My mom had to crawl underneath the house a handful of times since the can opener trick usually worked, but when she had to do it, she hated it, especially that final time. As I looked into the darkness of the crawl space, I had a greater appreciation for why that was. Before we moved, my mother said that it was actually better that boxes ran under here, despite how hard it was for him to get out. It was less dangerous than him jumping over the fence and running around the neighborhood. All that was true, but I was still dreading going into the crawl space. I turned back towards Josh and smirked. Best 5 out of 7? He laughed and told me to watch my head on the way in. I grabbed the flashlight and the walkie and began to crawl into the opening. Upon setting my hand on the ground underneath the house, I realized that I was about to ruin my favorite shirt. The ground of the crawl space was nothing more than damp dirt, which would create a problem for the white shirt I was wearing. My mom had gotten it for me at a souvenir shop when we visited my grandparents that previous year. It had an iguana wearing sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt lying on a beach chair and sipping a drink out of a glass with a straw. Beneath the lizard in big green letters, it said, Iguana another fly tie. Iguana another fly tie. Oh my God. That's so stupid. I had no idea what this meant, but after about 10 minutes of nagging after about 10 minutes of nagging, my mom paid to have the design ironed onto my shirt, or a shirt my size. My mind started turning. There'd be no way for me to come out of this exploration without being filthy. I had to explain the state of my clothes to Josh's parents. This complicates things. I turned back towards Josh. Hey, I can't be the one who goes under, man. It'll ruin my shirt. Your parents will know we are outside. Josh stood there with a slightly amused but quizzical look on his face. Finally, he answered, Wait, you're serious? Dude, look at your shirt. I looked down and saw it had already advertised my activities with thick skids of soil that streaked down, up and down and across it. I felt slightly foolish. We had just walked through the woods. I had fallen in a hole, but I still pictured my shirt in mint condition. I played it off as if it was a joke and turned back towards the opening. As I moved the upper half of my body into the crawl space, my concerns turned to other things as a powerful smell took over me. It smelled like death. I turned my walkie on. Josh, are you there? This is Macho Man. Come back. Josh, cut it out. There's something wrong down here. What do you mean? It stinks. It smells like something died. Oh man, is it boxes? I really hope not. Damn, is your cat dead? Damn, that sucks, buddy. I set down the walkie and oscillated the flashlight as I crawled forward a little, trying to survey as much as possible from my current position. Looking through the hole from the outside, you could see all the way back with the right lighting, but you had to be inside the crawl space to see around the support blocks that held the house up. I'd say about 40% of the area wasn't visible unless you were actually in the crawl space. But even inside, I could only see directly where the flashlight was pointing. This would make scouting around the place much more difficult. I tried to call my cat. Boxes? Josh said what we were all thinking. I mean, yeah, but damn. I paused and listened. Boxes. There's no sound or movement. I tried clicking my tongue against the roof of my mouth. Or like the pss, pss, pss. Well, that's, that's a pss, 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 but I imagine him going. There's no response to that either. Pressing my hands against the earth, I pulled myself forward until my feet slipped past the opening and into the crawl space. As I moved further into the void, the smell intensified to the point that it stung my nostrils. If I've covered my nose with my hand, I couldn't properly leverage myself in the cramped space. This meant that in order to move, I had to breathe the air directly. When I tried breathing through my mouth, the stench in the air layered on my tongue, coated the inside of my cheeks to the point that I could actually taste it. But for the entire journey from Josh's house to my old home, I had hoped that we'd find boxes here. But now the fear was growing in me that boxes had come here and something had happened to him. I began hoping for the first time that I wouldn't find boxes after all. I twisted my body and tried to look around with the light, but I couldn't see much of anything. The foulness of the rotten air now lined my throat, and I coughed and spat reflexively to remove it. I needed to hurry up so that I could leave this place. Reaching my arm forward, I wrapped my fingers around a support block to pull myself forward, and as I did, I felt something that made my hand recoil. Brr. My heart sank. I prepared myself emotionally for what I was about to see. I crawled slowly so I could prolong what I knew was coming, and I inched my eyes and the flashlight past the blocks to see what was on the other side. I staggered back in horror and disgust. Jesus Christ! Escaped my trembling mouth. It was a hideous and twisted creature, badly decomposed. Its skin had rotted away on its face, so the teeth were revealed, an ever-present sneer that made them look enormous. Its eyes had either sunk back into the skull or were simply gone altogether, but it still felt like it was looking right at me. The smell that was radiating from it was unbearable. What is it? Are you okay? Is it boxes? I reached for the walkie. No, I don't think so. Well, what the hell is it then? I don't know. I shined a light on it again and looked at it with less fear in my vision. I chuckled, though I felt bad for doing so. It's a raccoon. Well, keep looking. I'm going to go in the house to see if you might have made it there somehow. My headphones just died again. I'm not getting any warning. They're just dying. That's weird. I have to replace the battery again? Already? What the fuck? What? No, Josh, don't go in there. What if Boxes is down here and he runs out? He can't. I put the board back. I looked and saw he was telling the truth. Why'd you do that? Don't worry, man. You can move it easily. Doing it this way makes more sense. If Boxes ran out and I missed him, then he'd be gone. If he's down there, then it'll be easier for you to grab him, and then you can just radio me, and I'll come move the boards. If he's not down there, you can make it yourself and then meet me in the house. I mean, that's not that bad of an idea. I thought of the times when my mother had tried to catch Boxes, either running out of the house or sprinting around the backyard. Josh had a point. In fact, this plan seemed more thoroughly thought out than our entire mission. Still, I liked the idea of him being just outside, even if he wasn't doing anything productive. It was just good to have him there. But we'd save time this way, and we needed all the time we could get. Both of Josh's parents got up early, and I would still have to try to clean my clothes after crawling under the house. I didn't want him to abandon his post, but there was always the chance he wouldn't be able to get in anyway. Hesitantly, I radioed him back. Okay, but be careful and don't touch anything. Don't worry, man, I won't touch your Barbie collection. I laughed. You remember your way around inside, right? Yeah, I think so. Where do you think I should look? I thought for a moment. He used to sit in the washer or dryer sometimes, but he's not... Oh, I thought for a moment. He used to sit in the washer and dryer sometimes, but if he's not there, then try my room. There's a bunch of my old clothes in boxes there. Check to see if he crawled in one. I guess, and make sure to bring your walkie. Roger that, good buddy, Josh replied. I realized only then that it would be pitch black in there. The power would have been turned off since no one was paying the bill. With any luck, he'd be able to see from the street lights on the other side of the house that might cast some light inside. Otherwise, I wasn't sure how he'd find his way around, or how he'd find boxes for that matter. Before too long, I heard footsteps right over my head and felt dirt raining down on me. Josh, is that you? Breaker, this is Macho Man coming back. Coming to the big Tango Foxtrot, the Eagle has landed. Well, it's your 20, Princess Jasmine, over. Asshole, I muttered to myself. Macho Man, you don't have to make walkie-talkie noises when we're actually on the walkie-talkies, right? And my 20 is in the and my 20 is in your bathroom looking at your stash of magazines, good buddy. Looks like you got a thing for dudes. What's the report on that? Over. Ha, you're gay. Ha. I could hear him laughing without the walkie, and I started laughing too. I heard the footsteps fade away a little. He was on his way to my room. Man, it's dark in here. Hey, you sure you had boxes of clothes in here? I don't see any. Yeah, there should be a couple of boxes in front of the closet. There aren't any boxes. Let me check to see if maybe you put them in the closet or something before you left. I knew that I hadn't done that. Started thinking that maybe my mom had come back and gotten the clothes and just given them away because I had outgrown a lot of them. But I remember leaving boxes there. I didn't even have time to close the last one up before we left so abruptly that summer. While I was waiting for Josh to tell me what he found, I felt a tingling on my foot, and the thought of spiders surged back into my mind. I kicked my leg quickly, and the sensation subsided. There were no spiders. My leg had fallen asleep due to the position I had been laying in. As the feeling returned to my foot, I became aware of the fact that I was now resting on something other than mounds of dirt. I turned my head back and stared, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. My foot was resting on a bowl that lay among scatterings of other bowls. I turned my body and crawled a little closer to the collection and saw that most of the bowls were lying on a brown blanket that was quite difficult to see in the darkness since it was earth-colored. The blanket smelled moldy, and most of the bowls were empty, but one had something I recognized still in it. Cat food. It was a different kind of food than we gave boxes, and initially I couldn't understand why it would be down there of all places. Suddenly I understood. If boxes had ever escaped our backyard, there would have been a very good chance he might have gotten hurt since he didn't have his front claws. My mom must have set up a little place for him under the house to encourage him to come here instead of running around the neighborhood. That made a lot of sense, and explained why Boxes had scampered under there as frequently as he had toward the end of our time at the house. Knowing about this place, it seemed even more likely that Boxes would have come back to it. That's so cool, Mom, I thought as a sound of static came through the walkie. I found your clothes. Nope. Nope. I don't think that was for the cat, kid. That's terrifying. Oh, cool. Where were the boxes? Well, like I said, there were no boxes. Your clothes are in your closet. They're hanging up. I felt a chill. That was impossible. I had packed up all my clothes. Even though we weren't supposed to move that day, I remember having packed them weeks before. Thinking that was stupid to just have to get the clothes out of a box only to put them back in. I had packed them, but now they were hung up? Why, though? Josh needed to get out of there. Oh, your mom's the one who put it there. I don't think so, either. That can't be right, Josh. They're supposed to be in boxes. I put them in boxes. Stop messing around and just come back outside. No joke, man. I'm looking at them. Maybe you just thought you left them all packed up? Wow, talk about an ego. What do you mean? Your walls, man. Your walls are covered in Polaroids of yourself. There are like hundreds of them. What, did you hire someone to... Silence. I checked my walkie to see if it had switched off somehow. It was on. Looking at the frequency knob to see if it had been moved, I could see that it was in the right channel. I could hear rapid footsteps in the house above me. I couldn't tell exactly where Josh was going. I waited for Josh to finish his sentence, thinking that his finger just slipped off the button. But he didn't continue. He seemed to be stomping around the house now. I was just about to radio him when his words whispered through the crackling walkie-talkie. There's someone in the house. His voice was hushed. I could hear he was on the verge of tears. I wanted to respond, but how loud was his walkie-talkie turned up? What if the other person heard it? I couldn't take that chance. I'd lead this other person right to him. So I said nothing. I just waited, hoped, and listened. What I heard were footsteps. Heavy, dragging footsteps. I tried to discern where they were going. They seemed to be walking around aimlessly. Finally, they stopped. After only a moment, there was a loud thud a few feet above me. I could hear the dirt and the sand raining down from the underside of the floor onto the ground of the crawl space. Oh God, Josh! He had been found. I was sure of it. This person had found him and was hurting him. I couldn't move. I wanted to run home. I wanted to save Josh. I wanted to go for help. I wanted so many things, but I just lay there, frozen and racked with guilt over the fact that I was failing my friend. It wasn't at all that I was unable to help him, as if I had tried and failed, and I felt I had let him down, and as if I had tried to scramble out of this pit and rush inside to rescue him, only to be thwarted and defeated. It was that I couldn't bring myself to try anything at all. I hadn't moved 1 inch. He was my best friend in the world. He was my only friend, next to Boxes. Okay, well, that's a cat. This is kind of different here. I broke out in tears at the thought of Josh's fate and the knowledge of my own impotency. Impotency? Yeah, when he needed me. And I cried even harder from the selfish fear that was stirring up inside of me as I realized Josh might have told this person where I was hiding and that there was nothing I could possibly do. As I struggled to compose myself, I felt my heart flutter. I heard Josh's voice through the walkie-talkie. This relief was... Sugar, hello! Welcome in, Raiders! Hello, how are you doing? Thank you so much for... Oh! Mother Night Rose, thank you so much for the follow. Hello. For those who don't know, my name is Cass. I run Cast Iron Cat. There it is. I'm a rock and roll cat boy VTuber. My microphone, my boom arm broke, so I have to hold my microphone. So I couldn't play. Ah! Thank you, Faith. I couldn't. Oh, Red. Oh, now you fucking shout somebody out. Can't shout yourself out, but you shout out the friends. I see how it is. Shout yourself out, damn it. But thank you for helping shout out. But yeah, so my boom arm broke. So since I couldn't play games, we're reading today. I'm reading a horror story called Pen Pal. It's amping up. 2 kids gonna die tonight. 2 kids gonna die tonight. Piss off, I'm watching MHA. I didn't think I was that bad. Jeez. Also, how far are you? Have you gotten to Miracle? I hope you got to Miracle. God damn, I hope you got to Miracle. When I heard Josh's voice through the walkie, but this relief was short-lived. He's got something, man. It's a big bag. He just threw it on the floor and, oh God, man, the bag. I think it just moved. Josh hadn't been discovered, but I knew he soon would be by the man with the bag. It was hopeless. As I lay there, unable to move, my eyes focused on the corner of the house that was right under my room, right under where Josh would soon be discovered. I moved the flashlight. My breath hitched at what I saw. Animals. Dozens of them. I've been got to her gamers TV. Animals, dozens of them, all dead. They lay as a heaping pile of fur, claws, and teeth. Time and weather had fused some of them together into grotesque chimeras, their snarling mouths telling the world of their dissatisfaction at the Union. At the Union, got it. Could boxes be among these corpses? Was this what the cat food was for? For a moment, I thought to move closer. Perhaps if he was there, I could see him and know the truth. A heavy footstep above me broke my shock. I knew I had to get out of there. I scrambled to the board and pushed on it, but it wouldn't budge. I couldn't move it. I couldn't get my fingers around it since the edges were outside. Josh had put it back the wrong way. I was trapped. God damn you, Josh, I whispered to myself. I could feel the thunderous footsteps above me. The whole house was shaking. I heard Josh scream. It was matched by another scream that wasn't full of terror. The storming above continued as I clawed at the board. The footsteps were tracing patterns on the floor and charting a map of the house in my mind. They ran from my bedroom to the living room to the kitchen to the front door and around and around. They ran until I didn't hear any more running. I pushed on the board as hard as I could, and I felt it move, but I knew it wasn't me who was moving it. I could hear footsteps above me and in front of me, and shouting and screaming, filling the brief silences between stomping and shuffling. The board moved a little, and what little ambient light there was outside poured through this new opening. Walkie or flashlight? Had to make a decision which to use to defend myself. It was still so dark outside that I feared I couldn't make it back to Josh without the light. But if I broke the walkie-talkie, then Josh and I would be separated completely. The board moved more. I didn't have much time to wager longer. The walkie seemed sturdier, so I moved back and clutched it, ready to strike with all my might. The board was thrown to the side. An arm shot out and grabbed for me. Let's go, man! Now! It was Josh. Thank God. I scrambled out of the opening, holding the flashlight and the walkie. We ran as fast as we could to the fences as the long grass whipped against our legs. I was the first one over the fence with Josh close behind me. But when Josh hit the street side of the grass, I heard him curse. His walkie strap had gotten caught on the metal tension wire at the top of the fence and pulled loose from his arm, falling on the bad side of the barricade. Quickly, Josh went to climb back over the fence to retrieve it, and reflexively, I grabbed the back of his shirt, yelling, "Forget it, man! We gotta go!" Behind us, I could hear yelling, though they weren't words, only sounds. Without discussing it, we perhaps foolishly ran for the woods in order to get back to Josh's house more quickly. While hopefully being somewhat harder to follow, we tore through the thick patches of foliage, which tore back through us, albeit unequally. My arms were stinging with fresh cuts and scrapes from the woodland blockades that attempted to slow us down. The whole way through the woods, Josh kept muttering, "My picture. He took my picture. Oh, dang him." I began to feel physically ill from the guilt this caused in me. I knew the man already had Josh's picture from when we played as boys in the ditch. I suppose Josh hadn't thought about that day since it happened. Maybe he still thought those mechanical sounds were from a robot. Aside from Josh's mutterings, not a word was shared between us as we hustled through the woods back to Josh's house. We made it back into his room before his parents woke up. I didn't know how to use his washing machine, and even if I did, it would have made too much noise. After my attempt to scrub the dirt out of my shirt and pants with water from the sink, it proved unsuccessful. I borrowed some clothes from Josh and reluctantly snuck back outside to throw the incriminating clothes into the large green city trash can that was sitting by the curb. The fact that there was so many trash cans lining the neighborhood road told me that garbage day was somehow nearby on the calendar. And when I lifted the lid to Josh's trash can and saw it only filled with garbage bags, I was relieved that the day hadn't already come. I hesitated for a second, taking a last look at the lizard on my shirt, then shoved the clothes underneath one of the bags and crept back around the house and through Josh's bedroom window. My cats are fighting. Hey, knock it off. Quit fighting. Love each other. We sat in silence for a while, and it started to become uncomfortable. Finally, to break the quiet in the room, I asked him about the big bag in my old house, and if it really moved. He said he couldn't be sure. He kept apologizing about dropping the walkie-talkie at the house, but obviously that wasn't a big deal. All things considered, we didn't go to sleep that night. Instead, we sat peering at the window, waiting for the man with the bag, but he never came. We agreed to never tell anybody what happened. No good would come after that. After a couple of hours, the sun pushed the darkness out of the sky. My mom came to get me a couple hours after that. She asked me about the clothes I had on. I told her that Josh had liked the shirt I had been wearing and asked if he could borrow it. She said that was nice of me. And we were pulling out of Josh's driveway. My eyes lingered on the trash can at the edge of the yard. I caught myself whispering, I thought I closed the lid. Oh, fuck that. Oh, fuck that. Oh, fuck that. Oh, hell nah. I considered that the garbage truck might have just put the trash can down with the lid open, but it didn't matter. The evidence was gone. There's no dick to grab. Oh, God. What do I do? Until very recently, my mother didn't know about what Josh and I had done that night. Of course, I spared many of the details when I told her, but I thought that if I told her something she didn't know, maybe she would reciprocate. By the end of the story, my mother's eyes, this is by the way when he's an adult, by the end of the story, my mother's eyes had glossed over. I asked her why she lied about bothering the new owners to stop me from going when there weren't any new owners at all. Why she tried so hard to stop me from going back to our old home. She became irate and hysterical and told me to get out of her house, but I just sat there waiting. When she realized I wouldn't leave, she sat back down and answered my questions. She grabbed my hand and squeezed it harder than I thought her capable of and locked her eyes to mine. She whispered through clenched teeth as if she was afraid of being overheard. Because I never put any fucking blanket or bowls under the house for boxes. You think you were the only one to find them there? Don't you tell me that I lied to you about there being someone in the house. God damn you! I felt dizzy. With those few sentences, I had understood so much. I understood why she had looked so uneasy after she brought boxes out from under the house on our last day there. She found more than spiders or a rat's nest that day. I understood why we left almost 2 weeks early. I understood why she tried to stop me from going back. She knew. She knew he had made his home under ours, and she kept it from me. As I walked out of her house, I could only think of what else she might know. I left my mother that night without saying another word. I didn't finish the story to her, but I want to finish it here for you. When I got home from Josh's that day, I threw my stuff on the floor, scattered everywhere. I didn't care. I just wanted to sleep. I woke up around 9 o'clock that night to the sound of boxes meowing. My heart leapt. He had finally come home. I was a little sick about the fact that I had just waited a day. None of the previous night's events would have happened, and I'd have boxes anyway. But that didn't matter. He was back. I got off my bed and called for him, looking around to catch a glint of light in his eyes. The crying continued, and I followed it. It was coming from under my bed. I laughed a little, thinking that he just crawled, that I just crawled under the house looking for him, and now this was so much better. His meows were being muffled by a jacket, so I flung it aside and smiled, yelling, "Welcome home, boxes." His cries were coming from my walkie-talkie. Boxes never came home. Ooh, so this stalker man has his walkie-talkie. Oh, that's so fucked. Oh, I love the ending to that one. I wish Fan wasn't tired, because I love the ending to that one so much. Nah, that's fucking creepy, right? So he has his clothes, the dirty clothes. So let's recap that chapter for a second there, because when they got back to the house, so somebody had gone through and put the stuff back in his closet and had put Polaroids of him all over the house, and now he has stolen more of his clothes, and he is taunting him, and he has Josh's walkie-talkie and a photo of Josh and Josh's fucking address. Let me just again, Josh's address. He has Josh's address. That's fucking not good at all. Fuck that. Fuck that. I would read more, but I think we're coming close. Like, we're getting close to 4 hours here. We might need to find somebody else to raid. Or I can do like a quick short story, but I think it's raid time. So let us find where's my display capture? Oh wait, that's in the reading. One sec. My question is, why is a grown adult stalking a child? Maybe he likes Minecraft a little too much, if you know what I'm saying. All right, whomst is still alive? Is Dante still alive? Are any of my V-gens, my homies in the V-gens? Nope, none of them are still alive. Heavenly is playing Roblox for some reason. Okay. Bruh, Cass, no, I'm just saying, maybe he likes a little bit of Roblox too much too. Good, you're saying. I'm just saying, all right? Now listen here, I'm just saying. But yeah, let's go raid into the Dante. Because Dante has been playing V Rising. My word. Why you expect better of me? I wouldn't. Let's go raid Zedante. She's playing V Rising. So be sure to go. Virgil! Hey, Pen Pal. It's such a good story. I'm waiting for the text to speech. Does the text to speech now? Yeah, Pen Pal is a great story. I love. This will help me have good dreams. Well, I did just finish it. Before Pen Pal, because I've read it once before, like the first 2 chapters. Before, we read Anansi's Goatman story, which is also, I like that one a lot too. It's not as well written, but this is like a book. I mean, it could have been a book, but you know what I mean? This is not like Pen Pal is so much better written. I love it. I expect nothing from you. Fair enough. All right. But give Dante some love. Tell them I said hi. Thank you guys so much. Going to bed is 12:23. It's 11:23 for me, but like I'm getting tired of holding my microphone up. I've been holding this shit up like I'm singing for like 3 hours, and I'm ready to put this microphone down. So yeah, please let me get this microphone out of my hand. All right, we're about ready to go. Make sure, like I say, tell Dante I said hi. We'll cast Iron Raid, and I will see you guys later. I don't know exactly when, but later. Bye!
Hi, BB! Thank you for the raid! Welcome in! Hi! Oh, shit. Hello, BB! Hi! Cass raid! Welcome in, raiders! I'm tired. No worries, baby. I knew it! I fucking knew it!
By the way,
Joey!
the only offensive spell I had there was Merciless Charge. Everything else I had was just support.
I'm fucking dead, bro. That was so funny.
Here, hold on. Let's do something else. Let me set up a different build.
Good night, Dante. Good night, DJ. Have a good night. Joey, Cass, welcome in, Raiders. Hello. If you don't know me already, my name is Dante. I am Cass's partner, and I'm also a Vtuber and a guild leader here. So I'm so glad you guys are.
You guys are still here on YouTube's end because I fucked up and I forgot to end the live stream. There's nothing here for you. I don't know what else to say. There's nothing here for you. I fucked up. This isn't like a Marvel post credit scene. This is a live stream. So this isn't like a Marvel